All right, let's move on. We got Fleischer, the fastest fight makeup ever.
A $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
2024, officers were dispatched to 11-910 Chetman Drive in Harris County, Texas. The complainant, the mother of the defendant, told the officers that her 11-year-old son, the second complainant, was riding his bike down the street when he passed the defendant. Complainant 2 and the defendant know each other. When they passed, the defendant began insulting the son, and the defendant pulled what appeared to be a tan handgun from his waistband and pointed at the second complainant while making remarks about shooting him. After the second complainant told his family about what happened, they went to look for the defendant and confronted him. The defendant reached into his waistband again, but the complainant's family was able to wrestle the gun away, which turned out to be a BB gun. The officers noted that the BB gun appeared to be very similar to a real gun in appearance.
Alexander, are you here with anyone today?
Sure.
Who are you here with? Go grab her, please. Go grab your mom.
Are you mom?
Yes.
Come on up.
Come on up, Mom.
Good morning.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
Did you hear everything that happened?
Some of it, I couldn't hear all of it.
Let's hear it again. Okay, do you mind, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thanks.
On September 23rd, officers were dispatched to 11-910 Chetman Drive in Harris County, Texas. The complainant, the mother of the 13-year-old boy, told the officers that her son was riding down the street riding his bike when the son passed the defendant. The complainant and the defendant know each other, and when they passed, the defendant began insulting the son, and the defendant pulled what appeared to be a tan handgun from his waistband and pointed it at the complainant while making remarks about shooting him. After the complainant told his family about what happened, they went to look for the defendant and confronted him. The defendant reached into the waistband again, but the complainant's family was able to wrestle away the gun, which turned out to be a BB gun. The officers noted the BB gun appeared to be very similar to a real gun in appearance.
Lucky he's not charged with aggravated assault. You know, they could charge you with a very serious offense where you're looking at serious time in prison. You're lucky they didn't, Mr. Alexander. How old are you, sir? You're 8.
You can't debate me. How can you debate? There's no debate.
What do you do with yourself these
I
days?
just put him to bed.
Spit the gum out, man.
You chewing gum?
Your attitude
Wave him
toward
up.
me right now, Mr. Alexander, it really, really sucks. You have an air of arrogance on you. Either that or has he been with you all morning?
I'm sorry?
Has he been with you all morning?
Yes, yes.
Hey, Judge Fleischer,
I'll
that's
drug test you right now. What's going to show up, Mr. Alexander? What's going to show up? I'm sending him for a drug and alcohol test right now. I'd like to know what, if anything, is in his system. We have to. I don't even know what to say, but all I know.
I mean, you brought me up here, so do I have permission to speak?
Absolutely.
Okay, so respectfully, I would submit that these are the alleged charges. There is extenuating circumstances, and the report from the complainant is actually not accurate. That family has actually made verbal and written threats to my son, and we have proof of that. So while I understand that these sound quite egregious, it is not the whole story.
I understand. And I know that there's always two sides to a story. I get it. And you will have the opportunity. But within the first 5 minutes that I've met him, his behavior towards me, his demeanor, the way he looks, just.
That's anxiety. He's standing in the courtroom. He's standing in the courtroom for the first time. And he doesn't have his attorney. He doesn't have an attorney yet. And this is a process that's foreign to him. So what I would, implore.
You did see this one. Damn it. Damn it, gavel gazer. You son of a bitch. From an hour ago. We saw this already. What's up with these people? They're uploading
What's this guy in
reruns.
trouble for? Carrying a BB gun?
Frank, you believe this shit? Listen, this is all racism, all right? It's all racism. Everything's racism. That's what I've learned. He's in there for being black. That's it. All right.
Well,
Fleischer drops.
I mean, that can That could put an eye
Let's go to the
out.
second one, Frank. Frank, please. Let's go to the second one. Pitch Judge
Okay.
Fleischer drops Bob Young out of control defendant. He's seen this one too already. Then forget it. I'm
It's out
done.
of control. I haven't seen any of these. No.
Right, see, Veerley's in chat. We saw this one, and I go, because she at the same time I was saying to myself, I go, I think that we saw this one. Pretty sure we did. And then she said it, and I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot. And but it's not. It's still new to someone else. Like Frank didn't see it.
No.
Everyone on Frank's restream didn't see it.
It's the first I've heard.
Could have
of
just
it,
pretended, you know. You could have just acted like I was crazy and pretended. Whatever. Let's go to the second one.
Coming up, Mr.
LCTV
Dunham.
has got black privilege. What's going on?
All right, guys, I'm gonna ask you, please keep it down.
Okay. Okay.
Morning, Mr. Dunham. How's jail?
Terrible.
Great. That makes me happy. Because you gotta understand, the worse of an experience you have, the higher likelihood when you do eventually get out, you'll think, if I do this, what's gonna happen? If I say this, what's gonna happen? Because that is the most important thing. You gotta understand, we value public safety. It's really, really important to us. So you're here now because it looks like you picked up a case out of state and you want me to set you a bond. Is this right?
Yes, sir.
You need to understand that my only concern are two things. Number one, are you a danger to my public? And number two, if we set you a bond, are you going to go back to the jurisdiction that you want it from?
Yes, sir.
Those are the two things that I'm concerned about. So, what's he wanted for out of state?
He's wanted out of South Carolina for robbery.
Robbery?
Yes, Judge. State would be opposed to a bond. He's currently has an open case of engaging in organized criminal activity. He's also on deferred for a third-degree felony theft, which he has not yet made the bond collectively of $50,000. He's also had a prior evading with a motor vehicle, a misdemeanor evading motor vehicle,
I'm here
criminal
for you,
mischief, and a
Mike Freeman asked.
theft. And it looks like based on the dates of each charge is that they're slowly escalating. It started with catalytic converters where he's using electric saws to steal them, but in the last evading is that he was also driving a stolen vehicle, and obviously now he's using weaponry or threats. And so based on the fact that from 2022 to now that he has been charged at least 6 times, 3 of which are felonies, and the fact that he has 2 open cases that he has not yet made bond on, is that he's a definition of a flight risk and safety risk. So I would be opposed to it.
That can't be a real judge, right? Wearing that bow
Judge
tie.
Mr. Denham is requesting a bond because he has finals on Monday.
Finals.
Is a sophomore, major in nursing at Southern University in Baton Rouge.
Are you really in school?
He's a judge the way I'm a broadcaster, Frank. Just roll with it, all right?
Yeah.
Really?
Is that even legal?
But you're in Houston. You had finals on Monday?
No, I can't write it.
Oh. Keep it down, please. I'm going to read
Alright.
something to you.
Frank, please,
real
Frank
quick,
in the back,
okay?
please keep it down.
I know.
We're judging here.
And this is from what I'm reading now. This is from the magistrate.
The magistrate.
Motion for bond conditions, Harris County, none. Defendant has a hold. 10/16/24. Officers conduct an undercover sting crime suppression operation to catch suspects who are engaged in organized criminal activity, bank juggings. Officers use bait victims, undercover officers posing as bank customers, and bait vehicles. 3 suspect co-defendants, DeLeon Dunham, Messiah DeLeon Dunham, and Treventi DeMarcus Hilliard attempt a bank jugging on 1 bait car, but are unable to break the window. Shortly thereafter, they conduct a bank jugging on a second bait car, and this time break the window. Bus signal given, and the officers execute a vehicle containment technique and a felony stop and apprehension. All 3 suspects, defendant in possession of criminal instruments. You're on probation for a 3rd-degree felony. You have an open robbery out of a different state. Let me ask you again.
You're black.
You really want me to set you a bond?
I was just asking if it was possible. Shit.
Like, yeah, what do I really want? Just let me go. Let me out of these handcuffs. Give me my clothes back. How about a cigar?
No.
Why did judges ask you?
You
stupid
got to
questions like
understand,
that?
at some point, we really, really value our public safety. Mr. Dunham, we are going to do everything in our power to protect it. And if I give you a bond, you may very well pick up did you say 6? How many charges?
Total in the course of the last 2.5 some odd years.
6?
6.
Sometimes we have to protect people from themselves because of their own cost.
Sometimes.
So, Mr. Dunham, I'm sorry, but I really think that you are a complete danger to our public, so I can't do it.
It's coded
Nothing
language.
you can.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, it's because he's black.
That's right.
The
Nothing you
local
can.
is likely going to get reset for Tuesday, then reset again. He's set for
I want to talk to this guy. I don't think
Yeah.
I've seen this guy before. Moorish, not you, Frank, please. 1 second.
Sorry. My bad.
The judge already told you to keep it down. We're
I know,
judging
huh?
here.
Fuck.
Moorish
Just-
doctor, philosopher, poet.
Fucking
And
contempt of the
also,
court.
I suspect, Frank, please. It's all about Frank here today, all of a sudden. I suspect he's also African American. And
Is he?
I'd like some, Frank, please.
My bad.
Trying to get some African American representation up here. You know, I need diversity. And we know that African American people are, I don't know if it's scared of white people. Like you, Frank, not me. I mean, I'm pink with brown spots. I'm melanated. We know that. I'm the white gorilla. But they're scared of white folks like you and others because of what you might do. Like not to them directly, but like you might call police, call Judge Fleischer, call somebody who has connections to a system that could potentially ruin their life. But we can get past that here today.
preliminary appearance upstairs, so it's just an arraignment, but it's likely going to get kicked out again for discovery. And so I'm just
Here's the deal, though. You need to understand that you have not made bond on your felony case. Okay, well, here's the deal. The problem is that while you have not made bond, your case here, the fugitive case, remains in a holding pattern. So the time that South Carolina would normally need to come get you is told until you make bond on that felony case. The other thing is that you're also on, Dave, where was he on felony probation from?
on deferred adjudication out of the 338th District Court for a third-degree felony theft.
I wonder why I can't even see that. Have they issued a motion to revoke on that one as well?
No, they set. Well, for some reason, it says the hold on JWeb, but it doesn't show it on. Yeah, no, hold on.
It's just from a couple of days ago. I'm assuming they're just following that MAJ today.
On that.
Is that what you see, Dave?
Oh, you're right. They haven't filed the MAJ yet, but I can't see the processing queue in the 338. So if
So
file it, it'll be this weekend.
at some point, they're also probably going to issue another warrant for your arrest because of all these cases now, because you're on probation. So at that point, you'll also probably have to set a bond on that one, or they may not set a bond. I don't know.
Right.
How old are you?
20.
You're 20?
All right.
Going the wrong way, Mr. Dunham. Really, really begging for a lengthy prison sentence, dude. That's it. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Judge.
He's begging for it. He wants to go to jail.
These are serious allegations, but I need to point out that Mr. Wiggins is 19, and you're also taking away his ability to communicate with his family.
We told him not to do it. He's doing it. I mean, what else can we, he's, pull the records. Is he trying to thwart it? Pull the phone records. If he's trying to thwart it, then you get him with an obstruction.
The deputy is going through Varus to get transcripts of the calls, so we will have those transcripts soon. The deputy just called me and let me know that defendant was contacting the complainant and her mother and saying that this is how you take care of things and that everybody violates their bond conditions. And
Let's hold on, wait till he's out here so we can hear this. Morning, Mr. Wiggins.
Morning.
How's jail?
Cool.
It's come to my attention that you are violating the conditions that we set out in this court, flaunting it and trying to get a hold of the complaining witnesses in these cases when we've told you not to. Go ahead.
yes, Judge, the deputy called me this morning and said that the defendant has called the complaining witness twice and the mother of the complaining witness as well. The deputy
This
told me
guy,
that-
and it's not even really funny because I'm pretty sure you can't legally or lawfully do this, but they did it anyway. Just goes to show like where we're at ultimately. Because these people are all submitting to the jurisdiction. We've talked about this before. Fleischer's an expert pimper and macker. There's never a jury. There's never a trial. The prosecutor never talks. He just steamrolls everyone.
What was the black kid flaunting? Did he expose himself?
No, I think he's saying that he was out. He was out and had warrants, and he wouldn't
Flaunting
present.
the
He
law.
was running around flaunting that.
Sad. Well, he's going back to jail, right?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna see. I had something there, and it.
How's the food in jail? Did you get a good chicken sandwich? They got watermelon slices. For
Are
those
you
guys?
Frank? Are you? What do you do? Because the guy's black now. The guy he's got to have chicken sandwiches with Frank. What are you doing?
I
You
don't
going
know,
full
dessert.
like Kanye when he came on Alex Jones that one time and said Hitler was a good guy.
Watermelon slices? No.
Oh man, Frank. See, this is what I mean. You know,
What,
Frank's
black guys don't
Frank's
like- they don't
throwing
like-
chicken at black people. He's calling cops on them. This
They
is
don't
why
like
they don't want to be
watermelon?
around. This is why white people get hurt and then black people go to
Why?
prison.
Why? I don't know why. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. We serve it
Damn it,
after
Frank.
dinner here in China.
What's that?
We always serve watermelon after dinner in China. It's just
Right.
I figured he'd want some for dessert. Not being racist.
All right. Let's just move on.
Racist.
that while listening to these phone calls, he heard the defendant and say things such as, "This is how you take care of things," and that everybody violates their bond conditions and talks to the complainants in these cases. He also heard the defendant make statements saying that he was going to continue to violate bond, and once he gets out, he was going to hire an attorney, but he had previously learned that the defendant was indigent, and so he took this to mean that the defendant was going to commit other criminal acts to get money to hire an attorney.
Can you please notify the other courts as well that are so that they know as well?
Yes, Judge. I just sent a full email to the felony prosecutor in case the deputy hadn't already alerted her. I just went ahead and did it. The deputy, again, is getting the transcripts for these calls, and that the defendant has been using 3 separate inmate spin codes. That would be Jermaine Brown, Mark Diaz, and Dennis Compton.
Your privileges are hereby revoked. You are not allowed to use a jail phone at all from now on. Do you understand? I think that you are continuing to threat to the public even while being in jail. So your privileges to use the phones at all are hereby revoked.
Judge, I just,
She
again,
just told you.
please stop.
So
And I just want to read.
please go ahead.
He's
Yeah.
19. You are taking away his ability to communicate with his family.
But he's making additional threats allegedly, you know? Okay, we're gonna get the records, but until I know that you're not a threat, I mean,
He's typing everything.
every single thing that you say on the phone is recorded.
I know that, so why would I be on it threatening people?
We'll find out. Because I'm gonna ask, could you mind please pulling all the records, getting all the phone calls, and we'll play them out here in court, and we'll see. And if it's not, then I will gladly give you your phone privileges back. But there have deputies that have pinpointed you allegedly, you and using other people's spin numbers to make phone calls, to make continuing threats, and to further criminality if and when you get out.
What criminal?
I don't want you to say anything. That's okay. We're going to find out because I'm going to have them pull all the records, pull all the phone calls, and we'll listen to everything.
Judge, I will also say that the defendant told the complaining witness that this is about the ag assault involving the firearm, that when she got shot, the defendant said that's what happens when you hang out with gangsters.
So pull all that stuff, and all that stuff gets, so we need to figure out how, because it's a first for me as far as doing a revocation of privileges like that. As far as revoking phone privileges for inmates,
As far as I know, it has to be through the court order.
okay. I need to do whatever I can because it's apparently a problem now. So, I guess I'll reach out to administration as well to figure out how, because it's a first for me.
Judge, just so we're all on the same page, Mr. Wiggins is obviously going back to the jail now. Even before that order is in place, you are instructing him now not to use the phone. So,
Oh.
Sucks. I did, dude. That sucks, dude.
well, we'll get.
Tristan Lee, come on up, bud. I want to talk to you about Trump and down in the chat yelling Trump 2024. Want him to come up and tell me all about it. Why is this the, as he puts it, most important election of our time?
I know, right? Every single one. Are you going to vote, Baghdaddy?
No, I've never voted. I don't plan on it. I believe, well, I don't know. You know what? I might vote for Donnie if this guy comes up. Tristan guy, if he comes up and he can like really give me a great explanation on why I should, I might. I don't know.
Is that Black Sheep? Is Black Sheep Tristan? No. Different, right?
No, that's not him. That's Cooper.
What's going on, guys?
What's happening,
What's up,
Black
man?
Sheep? Yeah.
Frank.
What's up? Looking fly with that stash, man. I like it. My wife hates the stash. She makes me shave. I'm bullied. My wife bullies me, yo.
Your slave driver makes you go
Yeah,
no facial hair.
She fucking cracks the whip.
You guys aren't going to start beta bonding in front of me, are you? It's kind of grotesque.
We might.
Yeah. kind of turns my stomach. Kind of turns my stomach when men admit in public that they let their women control them.
Gonna fag out. Yeah, no, it's tough, man. It's all of China though. Like,
I wouldn't know.
I don't know if you guys give any kind of fucks about China, but like they're really anti-facial hair here. I don't know why.
They're also anti-women. Isn't the whole point of living in China to be able to tell all bitches what to do?
Right.
So that was like half of the whole deal of living there.
Keep a hair
off on that.
Give them the smackdown.
Yeah. Like what happened to that?
Oh man, the communist revolution. They broke
Right.
the chains. They made women equal. But yeah, they don't like facial hair.
Your thoughts, Cooper?
Isn't
You got a
Japan
nice
like paying people to have foreigners come and impregnate their women or something like that?
They do.
Remind
The
me.
Japanese, they want to bolster their population. They're running out of people.
Or is it just because their men can't get any
That's-
of those women?
That's probably part of it too, huh?
Maybe. Seen like a few things.
Yeah, they're encouraging polygamy and having children. China's doing it too, though. They're like supposedly in the next couple of decades, they're going to start running out of people over here too.
Good slave news. Good time for slave news. Eviction skyrocket nationwide as housing costs are rising.
Love this old town.
For 75-year-old Catherine Weaver, the small town of Aberdeen, Washington, just 2 hours west of Seattle, has always felt like home sweet home.
And my kids took karate lessons over in the next block.
That is, until she was forcibly removed from hers.
They started hauling our stuff out and stacking it in the street. And people would come by and dig through it and take what they wanted.
Catherine says she and her daughter Liliana moved into an apartment a few years ago and quickly started having problems with the landlord.
We had been there almost no time at all when they jumped the rent up some more. The cupboards and the drawers in the kitchen were off the rails.
Despite always paying her rent on time, in February they received an eviction notice, citing demolition of the building as the reason she had to leave.
If they were going to tear it down, why would they have been renting it the same day we got the eviction papers?
There's a lot of pressure on some of these houses for landlords to evict people so they can raise the prices or sell them or turn them into condos.
Catherine's case reflects a rising trend in the U.S. With pandemic-era eviction moratoriums and federal assistance programs now gone, some cities' eviction filings are dramatically higher than pre-pandemic levels, in some cases over 50% higher.
Housing costs are increasing, but wages are not increasing at a rate fast enough to meet those prices.
And it's not just tenants. Landlords are also feeling the pinch. Rising housing costs combined with tenants who can't pay their rent is forcing them to take drastic steps like eviction. According to national data, there were more than 1 million evictions over the past year, some 82,000 in the last month alone.
I leave eviction as a last resort.
Brooklyn area property manager John Sevdos has had to start the eviction process on 2 tenants in the past year. When someone doesn't pay rent, how does that impact you?
I have to take money from another property to put it into this one. It's emotionally stressful because I know that I still have to meet my obligations, still do repairs, still pay the mortgage, still pay my personal bills.
But for both landlords and tenants, evictions are taking a human toll.
It's just such a hurtful experience that I don't want to go through it again.
Valerie Castro, NBC News.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news.
Lester Halt. All right, let's go through these couple news pieces quickly. New York City apparently called out the army the other day for a migrant gang that's invading Queens. Some folks might say that there's more going on here than just a migrant gang, that the migrant gangs are part of a bigger plan that's being allowed or made to happen.
There are growing concerns among residents and business owners here. They say they're losing their community. Former city councilman Hiram Montserrat wants Governor Kathy Hochul to send in the National Guard.
This is organized crime. So an entire New York City neighborhood has been taken over by gangs, and there's nothing the city's able to do about it. Because even after several police raids of this formerly vibrant middle-class neighborhood, the levels of criminal activity here continue to soar. And that's why residents are demanding the governor step in and send the troops.
I actually got to speak to a couple of community members. They say that organized crime has taken over this community. They demand the community be cleaned up immediately because walking down the street isn't safe anymore.
You want to live in this country. You want to get the American dream, and what you're doing is completely wrong. You're breaking the law.
Now they're in broad daylight. They're in front of schools. We have garbage. We have illegal vendors.
We say no more, and we're going to shut you down. That's the promise from officers raiding this Roosevelt Avenue massage parlor.
2 days after, they reopened. And we came here last night, they were here.
The mayor said the flood of migrants coming to the city with little support systems contribute to the situation.
And, police tell us that the migrant crisis has really made this problem so much worse. Not only is there increased gang activity, but also
the Trinidad Agua gang that originates in Venezuela has now made the United States their second home. This gang is now hidden in plain sight within the 1 million Venezuelans that have entered the country.
We're already
already in trouble because they've been here for a while and they're involved in so many different crimes. You name the crime, they're going to be involved in it.
For months, crime in a middle-class part of New York has been allowed to surge to levels beyond anyone's control. But even though things here have gotten really bad over the last 2 years, what nobody's talking about is that this never would have happened in the first place if we had laws that punished criminals, but we don't. And the growth of crime here is something critics say is headed to every neighborhood in town if things don't change. And if troops aren't sent in to get rid of these gangs. Because what we're witnessing in this part of town is the end game of every type of crime our leaders continue to defend as nonviolent and victimless. Like shoplifting, which we've decriminalized in this state and made a non-jailable misdemeanor, which allows repeat criminals to earn thousands taking whatever they want from any store in town and reselling it, which you'll see happening on Roosevelt Avenue on practically every street corner, with some open-air theft markets set up right by the stores those goods come out of. But that's far from the only type of crime taking place in that part of town 24 hours a day. Here you'll find everything from illegal food vendors operating restaurant-grade kitchens right on the sidewalk to businesses that look legitimate but sell things they shouldn't and are part of a criminal economy that just keeps growing and growing. Which brings us to the real reason why residents are now demanding that troops come in and get rid of the criminal element in their neighborhood once and for all. The police have been trying to do this for over
Imagine this. Fucking these stupid white people are out there now begging for troops to come in to crack down on illegal food vending. Could you be any more slaved out than communist and collectivist? These are the same people who vote for Donnie and then come here and go, Trump, it's our most important election ever. What, the one where you're going to vote someone in and then still force statism and fascism and cuckery on everyone? Because someone dared to serve a fucking sandwich without the proper paperwork. You still buy into this shit that it's for safety? It's not just control everybody.
That's garbage. They need to let them cook on the streets. You know, they got to feed themselves. You know, what are they going to do?
Dude, I watch people on. Do you ever watch those India YouTubes? I watched somebody eat a sandwich off somebody's foot the other day.
Oh
India,
God!
All right, they're literally preparing sandwiches with people. They're preparing sandwiches with their feet in between working part-time jobs. Go watch it on YouTube.
Yeah,
they got cups of goo that they're all like just handing out with their hands. They're just handing goo to people that they're eating, and everyone's fine. No one's getting sick. So
around there.
It's not actually about health and safety.
To go in there and eat. You know, what are you going to do? Pay $20 for a sandwich when you can get one for $2 on the street?
Right. If someone wants to make sandwiches with their feet and hand them out or feet them out, I guess, who am I to stand in the way of that? That's radical freedom. That's what America's about. I got to go to India to get a foot sandwich now. We can't do that on Times Square. They can sell fentanyl and overdose, but we can't have foot sandwiches without paperwork. Come on. This is America. Needs to stop. Needs to stop now. All of it.
Well, the toe jam adds something to it, you know, gives it some flavor.
Right, it's part of your immunities. These dumb white people can't figure out the reason why the Indians and the Chinese and everyone's going to overtake these white people is because they don't use hand sanitizer. You know, they're still fucking and sucking unprotected. They're out there eating foot sandwiches. They're living life to the fullest. They got their immunities up. While you folks are sterilized, you're scared. You're living in fear. It doesn't work. People, get real, get serious. All right, I think we're making progress here. This broadcast is part of what's breaking these slaves free.
I feel like sickness sometimes can just be more about what you're putting into your body and your body trying to purge that bullshit. And then you have symptoms from that rather than like, oh, I ate a germ. And now my body's got to get rid of the germ. Because
Super, please. Whatever you're saying makes absolutely no sense. It's people like you who are selfish, who don't get all the regimens of vaccines and medications, who eventually wind up getting everyone else sick, even though you're not
sick. You gotta get the jibber jab.
Yeah, seriously.
Get jabbed.
We might have to do a Pfizer commercial here. It's been a while.
Yeah, if you're gonna get paid.
You got to pay the bills, man. Oh, yeah, I get residuals for that. BC Mounties face dismissal over shocking group chat conduct. Apparently now the cops are in group chats shitting on everybody.
CMP members, like other Mounties across the country, must abide by a code of conduct. But court documents obtained by Global News reveal allegations of serious violations by 3 members, allegations involving conversations so racist and misogynistic, they're all facing dismissal.
I mean, it's scary to think that police officers, law enforcement officers who are supposed to be professionals have attitudes and values and behave and talk in ways that are so contemptuous of women, contemptuous of racial minorities.
Constables Philip Dick, Ian Solvin, and Merced Mesbah have been suspended since June 2021. An Information to Obtain document, or ITO, alleges that in group chats on WhatsApp, Signal, and on RCMP mobile data terminals, officers made comments such as, "We gotta find a black guy today. This is your competency. I have to taser a black guy."
Okay, I mean, this is like, this is what I mean. Like, oftentimes I do the bit here, and that's why I say a bit, non-bit, and I'll even say what I do here is hacky. They're actually running around going, "We got to tase a black guy today." I mean, I don't even know what else to say.
Do you
I'm
feel
very
like that
rarely ever
sometimes?
speechless.
Do you feel like that? You just wake up.
I'll do the bit here sometimes where, like, I'm officer enslaved, like I did earlier, with Judge Fleischer, where, like Judge Fleischer gets caught in the group chat going, "Yeah, we got to put some black people in jail today. Specifically, we got to tase black people."
Just instigate them.
It doesn't do well for, like, when folks say there's systemic racism and they go, "No, there's not," and then they're in group chats going, "Got to tase a black guy today," like we always do. That's your rite of passage. Oh my God, it's just beyond sick.
Constable Dick.
It's almost too out there to even be real. It's almost like we're getting to the point where they're gonna do like Black Lives Matter rioting and burning shit again because Trump election, and how we get to that is they start releasing, supposedly they start releasing group chats with cops going, "How many blacks did you tase today?"
Right.
That'll get everyone riled up. So that's what maybe this might be. Although, to presume that folks aren't doing this, I mean, stranger things have happened, right?
Has said, "Why do black guys, they're not picking cotton anymore. What's their problem?" Members of the group belittled Indigenous people, talking about how they were stupid or drunk and saying they have unfortunate bodies and all have fetal alcohol syndrome. All 3 constables appeared to use goldfish as a slur for Asian people, responding to a domestic violence call where the victim was bleeding from the mouth. "Well, she's a effing dumb bitch. Should have warned."
There we go. This is what's going to lead to the leftists going crazy. News update. Apparently, not only are they referring to the Asians as goldfish, apparently the blacks were called muddy buddies. They're now naming folks after edible treats, racial edible treats. Oh man, this is terrible. Terrible right before election season.
How were they recruited?
Gotta vote Kamala
How were
now.
they
Gotta
trained? What's the culture of the force?
An investigation was launched after another officer made a report to RCMP superiors, but failure to make proper legal filings and meet deadlines have resulted in some allegations being thrown out.
But there is a 1-year limitation period, which is proceedings
we're going to tase the black guy today in quotes for our safety. That was in the group chat.
Constables Philip Dick, Ian Solvin, and Merced Mesbah are due to face code of conduct hearings in March, nearly 4 years after their alleged conduct violations were first reported. Catherine Urquhart, Global News.
Thank you, Catherine. Might I say, you're looking lovely today, Catherine.
Yeah,
some
hot.
retard. Frank, please, 1 second. I got to address my retarded audience. Some retard is down there yelling, "Trump, Trump, Trump, MAGA, 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 24, 24, 20. Come on, man, not here. All right, I just ate. I mean, pretty much that's any time, right? I've never been swimming because it's never more than a half hour since I've last ate. But please don't yell and scream down there for your daddy, hollering out. He's climaxing, hollering out his daddy's name. It's disconcerting.
It is.
Please get it together. All right. Tennessee state troopers apparently can mute their body cameras when making arrests, and we all can't figure out how that might go wrong.
Bring problem investigations, how you can be sober in Tennessee and still be arrested for DUI.
If it happened to you, you may think body camera footage would capture it all to prove your innocence.
You would hope it would, but Chief Investigator Jeremy Finley uncovers what state troopers are allowed to do while they're recording you.
There's something that happens as Thomas Maness is about to be arrested for DUI. As the troopers go to the back of the squad car to talk, the audio is turned off. And that got us wondering, are they able to do that? Especially given that after Maness was arrested for DUI, his blood work showed he was completely sober, and now he's suing both troopers. So we filed an open records request and got the THP's body cam policy. Well, the first thing you read in this subsection is that body cameras are supposed to remain activated and not deactivated when, for example, someone like Maness is pulled over. But there are exceptions. Look, the audio can be turned off during communication with other law enforcement. It means what troopers talk about, if you're pulled
national
over,
security
you'll
and safety.
never know.
It's never necessary.
And that's a problem for attorneys like Seth Crabtree, who specialize in defending people charged with DUI, especially for clients who are sober at the time of their arrest.
If you're not doing anything wrong, you want that body cam rolling. It's a bad look, I think, for law enforcement to record an entire interaction with the public and their investigation and then kill the cam.
But there's something else we noticed in this video. At this point, the troopers are talking again, and the audio is turned off. But for almost 2 minutes, it doesn't come back on, even as the trooper goes to inspect Maness's truck, as he talks to Maness, as he gets paperwork together. No sound. If you're wondering if maybe he just forgot to turn it back on, listen to what happens when a tow truck driver arrives. That driver asks if Maness had been drinking. The audio is turned off again.
I think a lot of people think, hey, if a body cam is rolling, I'm protected if I'm innocent.
I wouldn't call it a loophole in the law, but it's a soft spot. There's no justification not to record that conversation other than it could hamper the officer's case as they're building it.
I couldn't find anything in the policy addressing the last 2 moments of silenced audio, so I emailed THP's spokesman asking if maybe I was missing something. His response, with pending litigation, I won't be able to provide a comment on this case. Jeremy Finley, WSMV4 investigates.
Now you should know.
All right. So there you go. We can't figure out why or how that's able to happen and why that might be a bad thing. Let's just don't even question that, because they'll say you're a sovereign citizen, right? Just turn the cameras off, do whatever you gotta do. The cops and the court system is infallible. Most provinces have destroyed COVID-19 vaccines. Wait for a new formula. This is as of a couple weeks ago. They're still somehow, some way playing COVID games. I didn't even know this was still going on.
Canada's rollout for fall COVID-19 vaccines is on the horizon.
These COVID vaccines?
Some provinces
Seriously.
say they have been ordered to destroy old supplies of the existing vaccine before new ones are even in their hands. The current vaccine targets the XBB variant, but much like flu shots, the vaccine is being updated as new strains circulate. The Public Health Agency of Canada tells Global News that new supply will replace the old ones once approved. But multiple provinces say Health Canada directed them to withdraw and destroy XBB vaccines. A provincial official said on background that a new regulatory process meant the XBB vaccines have to be destroyed before new shots could be released. According to PHAC, provinces and territories have flexibility on how they withdraw the vaccines, saying some have withdrawn all shots or are using a phased approach, like honoring appointments but not allowing walk-ins. Most provinces suspended their vaccination campaigns by September 1st. Quebec will do the same September 14th, while Prince Edward Island did not respond by deadline. British Columbia, however, says residents should wait for the new doses if they can, but vaccines remain available. Vaccines to target at least one of the new strains circulating are being reviewed by Health Canada. And barring any issues, provinces tell Global News they expect to receive new
King
doses
Stephen's
as
cousin.
soon as October.
Very masculine.
Sean Preble, Global News.
Thank you, Sean. All right, I got a couple body cams here that apparently weren't turned off. And then I'll offer a final word. I'll throw the link if anybody wants to interact. If not, I'll check out. Let's see here.
Why doesn't just everybody wear body cams?
I never thought of that. That's a good point.
Yeah, people got phones, but when you pull out the phone, the cops always get nervous. You know, if everybody's just wearing a body cam, then you just click it on whenever you have to interact with the motherfuckers.
Yeah, like what do you have to hide? Like what's everyone hiding? Like maybe even end secrets and wars and secrets using body cams.
Yeah, they're hiding a lot.
Well, what are they hiding?
Their abuse of the system, man. Their tyranny.
They're hiding that they're calling the Asians goldfish.
Yeah.
Want to know that?
That's a good one, huh?
Florida felon shot after fleeing from police with a gun. Yeah, that'll do it.
Hey, Mom. On the ground.
You got a graham cracker running down the sidewalk there.
Move. I got 438, got one running. Southbound towards the barrel. Get on the fucking ground. Good, guy, good. Get on the fucking ground. I got 438, shots fired. Stay on the ground. Get on the fucking ground. Get on the fucking ground, dude. Stay on the fucking ground. Suspect's fleeing south, coming across Merrill. Guns on the ground. And 20. Just see your profile. So this is gonna be a Bravo Mike. Blue jeans, black jacket with a white stripes.
Stay right fucking there. Don't fucking move. Don't fucking move. 2282. I got him at. He's got an 18.
Wonder if we can get that annoying Costco dad to
just stay right there.
Pretend to be a cop and do a bit where he refers to the blacks as a double chocolate
get that.
cookie.
Put your hands above your head. Keep them right there. Do not move. Where are you shot at? Don't move. I see that.
Anybody else want to commit suicide or homicide when they watch those Costco meme videos that are going around with that family?
We're Costco guys.
I get that. We got rescue coming for you. Stay just like.
We're Costco guys. Of course we shoot double chunk chocolate cookies for being on our porch. What were you saying there, Cooper?
I just said what you just said before. I was saying that we're Costco guys. But I was also going to add to that video you just played. I'm pretty sure I saw the live stream that they were doing of them listening to Kendrick Lamar's They Not Like Us before all this popped off.
I don't know what that means.
Just relating it to personal experience that I saw a clip on my X account where they're live streaming, dancing, listening to They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us.
Irvine police officer shoots ex-caretaker who stabbed his former patient. Excuse me.
Stone Creek and West Celtic. Unknown, possible. Hey, Do you live around here or no? Yeah.
Yeah, we got a muddy buddy.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name?
Yeah. Hey, put the fucking knife down. Units code 3, he's got a knife. Hey, put the fucking knife down right now. Put the fucking knife down right now. Put the fucking knife down right now. Put the fucking knife down right now.
I said it was me. People have been
Put the fucking knife down right now. Put the fucking knife down. Put the knife down right now. Put it down right now. Put the fucking knife down right now. I'm not fucking playing, bro.
That motherfucker.
Put it down.
No, they had me being chased around like I'm a child predator. Fuck you.
Put it down right now. Put the fucking knife down.
Mitchell?
Put the fucking knife down right now. Put the knife down right now. I'm not telling you again. Put the fucking knife down. Put the knife down.
Shoot me, pussy.
Put the knife down. Put the knife down right now. Put the knife down. Put the knife down.
I always feel like that's how Mitchell's broadcasts are going to end one day when he tells the guy pussy. Shoot me, pussy.
Don't move, you understand? Don't fucking move.
You guys keep people all go hands.
See, Mitchell, that's what you got to look out, man. You got to watch out. You don't want to end up like that. Officer shoots unhinged woman.
Yeah, Mitchell, here Acorn hit the roof.
Oh man, that's terrible. Officer shoots unhinged woman charging with knife.
How are you? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I gotta restart that one. She came out hot.
How are you?
Right out of the gate.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Back up! Oh, yeah! Back up! Back up! Oh, yeah!
The officer tried to de-escalate the situation by giving verbal commands and retreating from Wilson. While doing so, he backed up into a dead-end hallway. Wilson continued to move toward the officer, attacking him with the knife.
Oh, yeah! Hey, man.
Stop zombies noises.
Please back up. Oh, yeah! Back up! Oh, back up! Back up! Back up!
Wilson attacked the officer and continued to assault him, striking him in the head. The officer attempted to reposition himself away and discharged his firearm, striking Wilson 3 times.
531 bubble.
I want to see that again, slower.
Oh, back up!
Sometimes these just look odd to me. I don't know, something about those the markings and where the gunshots were hitting and the blood and whatever. Just I don't know. The whole thing just looks odd to me. I don't know. I guess whatever. Do I have another one? I guess that's it. Your thoughts on that? Was that just me? Or?
Trying to say that it's like trying to stir up civil unrest, like rioting and shit like that. That they put out these videos in order to get people pissed off, or I don't know, or are you just making an observation, not really correlating it to any deeper agenda?
Yeah, I don't know, just the whole thing just looked weird. It was like, I mean, oftentimes gunshots are not necessarily what you expect, but you would think there would just be more blood there. Just the blood and the wounds that were there it just looked odd. But I'm no expert, of course. Yeah, that's the next Georgina Floyd incident. But potentially not, because we you really wouldn't need that. They're already apparently shooting black women in the kitchen for saying "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." They don't need to. Whoever the they is, wouldn't think needs to set up the cops with a woman with a knife charging at them. I mean, I don't know. Let me see here. What else do I have? I might just leave it there. I got the rest of the Christopher James interaction I never finished. Myself and him. We could go to that for a few minutes till the second hour. And I think I'll break out of here at the second hour.
But let's just take the motor vehicle code. The definition of my understanding of a motor vehicle is a vehicle that is doing commerce on the roadway. It even gives definitions in the code. It says tractor, trailer, bus, or a taxi, right? Taxi driver, bus driver, truck driver. I am not a driver because I'm not transporting or in the act of trafficking any goods or peoples. I am.
Let me ask you a question. What were you doing right there on Colfax then? Operating the motor vehicle. Would you consider yourself a driver?
No, absolutely not. A driver by definition. I understand there's a colloquialism that we don't understand here, or maybe they haven't told us or we don't understand, but the word driving by definition means you must be employed by somebody. So I was not driving. I was traveling in my private property from point A to point B, which, like I said, the Supreme Court has upheld many times. I have the right to do so. If I was, let's say, doing Uber or some form of hauling goods or services on the roadways, then yes, the government has a right to know that I can operate the roadway to do that business and then tax me, of course. But I'm not doing such. I'm traveling from point A to point B in property that I purchased privately and legally and lawfully.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What is your name, man? Why do you not want to identify yourself?
I just believe that nothing personal to you. I have had some incidents in the past where any information that I give, as you know, can and will be used against me in a court. And I don't believe that I have any necessity to give any information.
My name.
But you're required to produce your name because you are a government employee. It actually says I can ask you for 3 forms of ID, which you have to produce. You cannot ask me for. This is by my understanding of you guys' contractual law to uphold the Constitution and even the codes, quote unquote, of the state and the city. My understanding of that is I am not required to provide any of that information unless I'm being charged or some kind of crime is suspected, which I don't believe.
You're being charged for violating traffic code right now.
If you want to bring those charges, that's fine. But when we go to court and they convict me in a local court, I will go to Supreme Court and you will be held accountable and liable for those charges, just like a credit card. You cannot bring charges and not be held liable for them because the responsibility and onus is on the person bringing them. So I would hope that you'll be able to prove in a court of law, based on case law and everything else, that I don't have a right to see, this is the game. I don't have a right to take my private property from point A to point B, which like I said, the Supreme Court ruling is in that documentation I gave you. All the definitions are there. So I'm not coming from my own manifestation. I'm not coming from something that I want to be true or made up. I've read the definitions. I've gone through the case law. I've looked at Supreme Court decisions. It's expressly stated in there. The law is expressed, not implied. This is my understanding of it. I'm a man who does no harm.
That's great.
And that's how I live my life. I live my life by truth and doing no harm. The law of love. I have no issues with you or anybody else, and I'm not in the doing anything wrong at this time. I've caused no loss, injury, or harm to anybody. I'm taking my property from point A to point B.
Do you live in Lakewood, Denver? Where do you live, man?
I would rather not answer any questions, sir.
Okay. Do you live in the state of Colorado?
I'd rather not answer any questions.
Okay. Well, you're operating a motor vehicle.
I'm not operating a motor vehicle. Motor vehicle is defined in the paperwork as a vehicle on the roadways doing commerce. This is not a commercial.
You're operating a light blue Nissan Maxima with no license plates.
I'm not operating. I'm traveling from point A to point B.
At this time.
Then I guess we have a disagreement in the understanding. I presented you paperwork. You've presented me nothing other than your understanding. So my understanding is backed by definition, Supreme Court rulings, and the motor vehicle code. You've given me nothing except what you believe to be true. So where can we go with this?
statements that I've made to you are ones that are produced in Colorado revised statutes.
Can you show them to me?
On traffic law.
Can you show them to me?
I can. I'm gonna go grab the book right now and just open it up and scroll through the pages for you.
Well, I was kind enough to have all my paperwork and things in order, and my understanding here to present to you.
You have not provided me with any proof of insurance, any driver's license, or any proof of
Sir,
registration.
the paperwork that I provided to you makes those things not applicable to me because I am not doing commerce on the roadway. This is
provided me 3 printouts
of the definitions of the words in the Motor Vehicle Code and the Supreme Court ruling. Didn't you swear an oath to uphold the Constitution and the law of the land? The Supreme Court is the highest law in the land. So that one decision that I showed you should be enough for you to either go and look at what I'm presenting again and give a deeper, more detailed look at it, or to understand that we have no interaction right now. Because like I said, there's many Supreme Court cases on file. That is the law we're supposed to follow in this country. We can have disagreements in local court, but these have already been decided upon. The Supreme Court will hear my case as well if you guys bring charges, because I will take it there.
You will be bringing charges.
Sure. Again,
For violating traffic law in the state of Colorado.
the word violation in law means to cause loss, injury, or harm. It also means to sexually advance on someone when it's unwanted. I did not do any of those things. So, again, we have to get our words and terms in line with the definitions of what we all are agreeing on here is the English language. We cannot use words and not agree on the definition. I'm not making up my own definitions. The state of Colorado is a whole other discussion. And furthermore, it doesn't even come into this because, like I said, any roadways federally, the people, a man, a woman has a right to use the public roadways to travel from point A to point B. It's been ruled on. You cannot have a government organization who's supposed to work for the people come in to tax the people to use what is the people's. That is fraud. You may disagree with me. I, however, have the truth, the definitions, the facts, and the case rulings on my side. So like I said, if you bring charges forth, I expect you to show up on the day of whatever the proceeding will be. And then I expect you to show up at the Supreme Court proceeding. And we will have a discussion in front of whoever needs to be there about what I have the right to do and not do, since you seem to believe you.
Yeah, see, that's just brilliant what Pablo there. I want everyone, the reason I'm playing this a little longer is because Pablo understands the power of words, right? He's made a direct communication to this man that obviously this guy doesn't understand after he said it 3 times. So I'm understanding what operating something means, right? Or the fact that he's not driving. So these are very basic foundational truths, and Pablo has got him by the kahunas here because this guy's only a monkey repeating what he's been trained. He doesn't understand the words that he's actually using, and now he's meeting a man that does. Do you want to make a comment here so far, Pablo, how this was going for you?
Yeah, but I'm getting feedback in the headphones. I'm hearing the video over our talking. So I don't know if everyone else can hear that or if it's just me, but it's kind of hard to talk because I can hear it.
No, that's just you, Paul. If you can go to videos on the right-hand side there, this is a glitch with the software. On the side, go to videos and then click on pause there, and then that'll stop for you. Or you can click on that mute for me.
Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, throw something at me again, Chris. I didn't hear what you were saying.
That's okay, brother. I just wanted to say, as I was saying, everybody, you're showing everybody here very succinctly, and I highly, highly recommend everybody go and look at this full video because you're using the power of the words. You've done the education. You've done the research. So explain to how you were feeling at this point, because this is when I first watched, I thought, oh, the worm's finally turning here on him because Pablo's got him up against the ropes now. All this guy's doing, well, I could go get my book. Well, go get it, big boy, right? Because this guy's going to school you on the words that are in it. So tell everybody a little bit where you were at this point, because I know it's pretty nerve-wracking when you're doing this stuff, but at least you did it so honorably. That's what I love about you, brother.
Sure. I mean, I'm sort of at this point, obviously I'm all in on what I believe. So it's not really much going to be different how I where I go with it. However, there is part of me expecting and waiting for him to sort of escalate. And I guess I'm realizing as time goes on that I am in the power position in this interaction, not because I'm forcing it, but because of how I'm conducting myself and what I'm speaking, right? So, and then when Mr. Valdez shows up, it becomes pretty clear pretty quickly that he's sort of intrigued by who I am and the way that I'm speaking and what I'm talking about. And again, everything just kind of came together, right? I mean, it could have went very differently if a different individual showed up with a different understanding.
Absolutely. So was this a young cop? Was this a rookie cop you were dealing with? You felt like only a few years on the force, probably?
Sure, yeah, appeared to be a young guy. You can kind of tell by his voice and his demeanor, and it you know, even the sort of false strength, right? The ego, because it's probably tough for him, right? It's probably scary for him. He's walking up to a car. He don't know who I am, and he may be fresh out of whatever training and academy, and so he has to take control. He's trained. He has to take control, but it is scary, right? So he's trying to hold that position, but you can hear in the tone of his voice as time goes on, I'm disarming him, right? It even got to the point, I always find it hilarious when I hear it. He goes, well, why is that? Because even it now, like, I've reduced it to we're just at the bar now having a drink, and he doesn't even know why he's there.
Yeah. That's a beautiful way of putting it. So let me start it back up again here. Now, just so you know, I took your clip. I only had about 18 minutes here that I did. I don't want to play the whole thing here, but hopefully you spoke about there that this gentleman actually went out, who was acting for the Service Corporation, had his superior come to the side of the road now. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. It was Sergeant Valdez, who I can't give enough credit to, just his whole demeanor and his way of conducting himself and respecting me and upholding the rights, right? And even wanting to continue conversation with me so he can educate himself. Very honorable. Yeah, well, we're going to see this here. Hopefully, I just blipped it ahead a little bit, but I'll start playing it again. And that's what I really picked up on. When this man came out to the side of the car and he started talking to you, I'm going, that is exactly how a man or woman in law enforcement is supposed to be acting with their fellow man or woman, that there's no need for conflict, right? And that's why it's beautiful. So let's play a little bit more here.
What would be the word here? In that capacity, when I'm operating, when I'm on their clock and I'm taking money from them back to commerce, right?
So how would you refer to? Would you refer to me as Mr. Valdez or just the man? So I know from my education,
Mr. Valdez.
I don't respect you say sergeant,
and not agree on the definitions. I'm not making up my own definitions. That is an ability to respond. That is a responsibility that I take on in order to generate currency in this realm. But who I am, we're all acting, in the world, like Shakespeare said. All the world's the stage. We're all players of part.
Okay, so you covered your business purposes of no identification and stuff like that, right?
Well, I just know the whole routine, and I know that there's always going to be some inroad into trying to build a case. And this vehicle is not stolen. This vehicle's not reported stolen. There's no reason to believe I'm not the owner of it. So I don't believe that anybody has the right to.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, for us not to, the ignition's not like you cooperated, you pulled over. Those are our characteristics of the course. Like that. But I mean, I don't want to get this man. If you are Louis, so what we have stuff as far as operating the vehicle on a road way.
Mask off, man. You're gonna get my office. However, as a man, if something comes to that after what you just told me, because you are going to cut me loose, you're not going to give me any summons.
I'm not going to pull you out of a car. I'm not going to take you to Jefferson County Jail. I'm not going to do anything.
You're not going to give me any tickets or any summons.
No, we're not. We're just going to grab the van.
Okay.
If you're good with that,
that's fine.
Are you okay with my card?
Sure.
All right, I appreciate
it. And if you ever want to get together on personal time and have a conversation, I'm more than open and willing to do that. As a matter of fact, I look at it as a duty and a responsibility as an American to educate or to help, not even educate. I don't want to bring it to an ego thing, but to bring more understanding together to who and what we are doing here. What our shared role in being Americans is.
Would you want to email me stuff?
Sure.
Can I put my email on there?
Absolutely.
And the card that I gave you?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, man. I don't think I have my email.
And see, this is what we're out here doing, and I'm not.
It's right there, actually. Never mind.
This is a good officer, and I want to put this officer on camera. This is Ricky Valdez. They just pulled me over. No license, no place, no nothing, but that's fine because you don't need that to travel from point A to point B. And this man was willing to listen to me and understand what I was saying, and he could tell that I'm not up to no good out here. And this is what the human experience is supposed to be about.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
You have a good day, my friend. You take care of yourself.
I appreciate you, Mr. Valdez.
Be safe.
Look at that.
Okay.
Handshake out the window and all. Card, email. He's got a coffee date.
That's how you do it right there. And I hope all.
I'll tell you, brother.
Motherfuckers. Look, I can't get this window up now. I'm all nervous and shit. But I hope all you motherfuckers are watching. I hope you're all watching, okay? All you people who told me that go ahead and try that shit with the police and see what they do. Well, I just tried it. No license, no registration, no insurance, no nothing, okay? They told me many times that we're going to, the first guy, we're going to arrest you. We're going to do whatever. No, whatever. Stick to it. Stick to your fucking truth. Supervisor came. He said, we're not doing anything. We're not going to summon you. We're not going to do anything. You seem to know what you're talking about. Okay. Then he asked me as a man, can I see your VIN? Because I have it covered up. As a favor, can I see it? I normally don't do that. I said, you know what? You can read my VIN to make sure that my car is not stolen. Okay, but I didn't even need to do that. He said, you're not even obligated to do that. But as a man, he gave me his word and I showed it to him. So here we are. The cops are going to let me go right here on Colfax in Colorado. No license, no registration, no insurance, no nothing, because I don't need any of that to travel from point A to point B. The Supreme Court has ruled on it. So now I'm going to post this video. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I'm feeling good about myself right now.
No, we're feeling good too, Pablo. Like I said, that was awesome. And I just love that, brother. Just so everybody knows, I apologize for the technical issue that we had there. When it gets re-uploaded by tomorrow, hopefully, you will have the complete video. We'll re-put that in there so you can see it. And actually, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to put the whole video in there, because the whole one I've edited down, because it's an excellent discussion. I'll tell you, Paul, when he said that to you and he handed you his business card and he says, hey, could you send me some stuff on email? That's what this is all about, you know? And that's why you really, I cannot thank you enough, my friend, my brother. I know that there's more of us that are out there that are like you, but there's not enough of us. And you handled that entire situation like a champ, like a real man would. So I just want to say on behalf, I believe everyone watching this is probably in awe and they've learned so much, because you've actually shown everybody what I'm teaching everyone, the importance of the words that you use, that you know who you are within whatever relation you're interacting with these other people that are working for service corporations. So, you know, tell us a little bit more on heading it out here, you know, how that experience was for you. I love how you finished it off too, you know, that's beautiful.
I mean, yeah, you can see kind of at the end, I mean, it's inspiring to myself, and it should be inspiring to anybody who views that, you know, and empowering and eye-opening to, you know, where our power is, and the amount of power that we have in these situations, regardless of fear, right? So again, that was just another experience on my journey that the universe validated to me that I'm on the right path, and that there is power here, and you don't have to be angry or controversial or vengeful or any of this. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. Your power lies in remaining humble and just repeating to these people, you know, they need our help, right? They don't need us to demonize them and create another fight, another enemy. They need us to help them. And the best way that we help them is by helping ourselves. The best way we lead them is by leading ourselves, right? So we stand in that truth, and we provide that example for them of honor, and explain the eternal truth to them, and give them the choice. You know, where do you want to stand? And then everything else after that, we surrender, you know? So it's good, man.
Yeah, it's real. Like I said, it's really beautiful. You can tell you're a well-read man. And like I said, the knowledge is really, you know, I don't mean this in a gay way, but the knowledge is sexy as hell when you're using it, because I mean, you just totally undressed this guy outside of the car, the first cop. And then you actually managed to, when the second police officer showed up acting in his role, again, the conversation was so fluid. Is that okay now, Paul? Is it off?
Yeah, perfect. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, people. Where'd Paul go here? Did we lose him? There he is. He's back. Beautiful. I'll give you the screen. See, your face looks great there, Paul. But when we go to the larger screen, it's all distorted. So I don't know if it's because, let me see if we can change this here. Oh, no, it's good there now. Let's give you the full Monte. Be nice to show everyone your, yeah. You can just back your face up a bit from the camera.
I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
Well, like I said, it's been a real, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drop it down to the, because that's a better picture of you there, and we'll just leave Paul's emblem between us. So, you know, Paul, I just wanted to say, you know, it's a true honor to meet you. You know, we know our brothers and sisters to the south of us. We're all in this boat together. It's the same ignorance that is perpetuating between the relationship that we're having with these incredible people that put their lives on the line every single day. This is why people have to get past these little traffic stop issues or whatever. And you're absolutely right when you said a lot depended on those people that were outside that car that day, because you know damn well, had you got a guy that he's just not going to listen to this stuff, they would have smashed your window, they would have dragged you from the car, and it would have been a scene, right? Maybe not smash your window, but you probably may have got out to avoid that. But again, this is what we need to show the world, the true honorable actions of these people at the side of the road, and especially how you carried yourself. And then that handshake at the end, that meant the world to me. meant the world to me to see that. Anyone else watching that, that's exactly how a man should act with each other when we're interacting, right? We don't get our beliefs in the way. We have to really understand the words that we use are powerful. So, you know, Paul, what you did is just a beautiful thing, man. And you're such a light for your country right now. And I'm so grateful that you're now coming into this collective with us. You know, it's not about the work that I'm doing. And I said, it's not about the work Paul's doing or even what Chris is doing. We're all in this together right now to bring truth forward as best as we can, because we're not going to get through this without these people in law enforcement.
Sure. And that's the thing, is that, we can play the victim, right? We have a lot of people who, and a lot of times, again, we all fall into that. There's no criticism that does not apply to self. We all at times feel like we've been victimized, we've been lied to, we've been deceived. And maybe all that is true to a certain extent, but it's what you're going to do with it, right? So again, understand your enemy ceases to be your enemy. So if we can understand these people and their walk, and we can help them to understand us, there's no more fight or controversy. There's just the process of coming to an understanding of, like I told them, what we're all supposed to be doing here. And if you can show them and make them feel that, hey, I love truth, I love the enterprise, which is humanity, hopefully the majority of them don't want to do harm to you, right? If there's any soul or spirit or any connection there, they don't want to do harm to you. You know, we don't give them any reason to want to do harm to us. We give them the opposite reason, to sort of admire us or love us or connect with us, you know, respect us, really. Respectare, give a second look, you know. You have to give a second look at me when I'm speaking like that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Chris, this is or Paul, this has been a wonderful, wonderful showcase tonight to be able to share your experience with the world, your knowledge, your understanding of love for mankind, and how you carry yourself. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not just this simple interaction that happened at the, not that it was simple, but it wasn't just to look at it from a conversation standpoint. It was what you were actually doing with this fellow human, this fellow man that's outside of the window, how you brought him into a place of peace, a place of understanding, a place of respect. You totally disarmed him from any type of conflict. And that is a skill that unfortunately not many people have. But as you so eloquently said, if they've got the truth in their hearts and their minds and they start to understand this more, then they're going to actually start to take the lead when they pull someone over. Wouldn't it be nice when they pull people over and they say license and registration, and that man or woman looks at them and says, I'm not operating under a license at this time. And they say, oh, okay, sorry to bother you, sir. And in the event you say, well, is there anything wrong? Is like a headlight out or something? Or did I hit somebody? You know, did I cause any wrong or harm? They say, no. We just, sorry, we thought you were operating under a license. We're going to let you go. Have a wonderful day. That's where it needs to go. Right? They need to understand that. And then they're going to recognize, oh, Bob or Susie here, unless it's coming up on my screen that they've stolen that car because of the plates I've run. If they don't have plates, well, I know if I pull them over that they don't require a license. So we're just checking to make sure that, you know, the car's not stolen or something. But eventually that will just perpetuate. And then they won't even be bothering people anymore driving or operating their car, traveling from point A to point B with their property, because they're going to realize the only people that they should be pulling over that are driving are the cab drivers, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, the people that are generating commerce on those public roads. So again, Paul, I just thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm going to have you back again. Why? Because I want to tell everyone a little bit before we go here what you're also doing right now in the courts. I didn't get a chance to get those videos uploaded from you, and we had some upload issues, but I'm going to have you back on in another week or two here, and hopefully we'll have some more information to show everybody what you're doing at your local courthouse. So give everyone what you're doing also now at the courthouse.
Sure, yeah. So right now, I initially went in trying to help one of my friends with a traffic situation. So we were going in to file paperwork, get some information on the case. And I was, quote unquote, trespassed from my courthouse, right? That we all pay for, the people's courthouse. So I had a legal person trespass me from my courthouse because I didn't want to wear a mask, right? I wouldn't take his unlicensed medical advice. I would not turn off my recording device, right? Because I need to record for my safety and I have a right to record in public. And I would not be searched, right? I don't subject myself to unlawful search and seizure in order to access my courthouse. So when I didn't comply and perform for this person, he seemed to believe that he had a right to put hands on me, to order me to accept his restraints and to get into a cage. So now at this point, we're going to move my court, right, at the courthouse at the same time that they're moving the complaint. And we're going to attempt to move court, right, and hold them to their duties, obligations, responsibilities, and the oath that they took to not do loss, injury, or harm to a man, but rather to uphold the proper process of government, right? Which is for my ability to seek justice, as they say. So we're going to attempt to make that happen. Whether that's going to go the way it's supposed to or not is going to be dependent, once again, on the individuals there and my ability to hold court.
Yep. Well,
I think he had some tech issues there. Frank, did you want to ask a question? Was there something that you were not understanding or wanted clarity on?
Yeah, a little bit. That was you, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Wow. So, you got pulled over and you, I didn't totally get it, but yeah. So your channel, and you represent like the idea that we have sovereignty as citizens, right? Is that the same type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, again, just so till we go over the terms that we've been over here a bunch of times. You may not have been here, but essentially, as I understand it, a citizen is one who owes allegiance. United States is defined as U.S. Code 1A, a corporation, right? The United States is a federal corporation. So, one who calls himself a citizen of United States, all caps, is in fact saying that they are part of or owe allegiance to a corporation. Excuse me. So I don't refer to myself as a citizen. I have a citizen or a citizenship. And again, I don't believe in coincidence either. So I've had to sort of come up with my own understanding for this, how it works. So the way I choose to see it is the citizenship is a ship to navigate the waters of commerce, right? When folks talk about maritime admiralty law, this is just commercial waters, right? So I have a person, I have a citizenship. A person in Latin is a mask. I can put the mask on at any time and act in that capacity. I can get on the ship or in the ship at any time and sail on the waters of commerce. When I am docked and when I am not acting in that capacity, I am in fact a man, right? Or I am that am having experience of man. So, again, this is what I consider to be one of the greatest frauds in history, quote unquote, mankind's history, is the creation of personage, the mask, and or the citizenship, and then conflating the man under God with rights with the person and the citizenship in the corporate capacity to overwrite the law of the land, which is rights under God, and to impose statute, policy, and code by contract. And it's, of course, illegitimate, fraudulent contract because the majority of people have no idea what's going on there, right? So, again, it's not that the person is bad. It's not that the citizenship is bad. I have those things for certain benefits and privileges or to work in certain capacities. When I don't want to use it for benefits and privileges or work in certain capacities, I retain my rights under God. It's a dual jurisdiction. You can essentially call it a dual citizenship, right? But again, there's no actual way that you could be born in or on the United States. That's a 10 or 13 square mile location called DC, which is not even one of the states of the Union. And it's on an island near Maryland, Delaware. So no one was born there that I know of. No one can be born there. If you claim that you're born in or on the United States, as they put it forth, it deems you to be an incompetent. And it means that the representatives are going to manage your estate and your affairs, which they do regularly, the legal society, right? So again, there's a law society and a legal society for a reason. There's two of them for a reason, because legal and lawful are not the same thing. Statute, policy, and code is not law. It's given the force of law through the consent of the governed. This is what folks refer to as the unspoken social contract in governance and political science. This is what folks refer to as democratic aspect of the republic. Just to be clear, like many other things in history, the information that we get, the report that we get, is not correct. Go figure, huh? So there's more to this history. There's more to this story. The original founders did not agree on a system. This system was later imposed, as far as I understand it. Essentially, again, it's a British corporate parliamentary political takeover on a republic, a land that was a republic with rights under God. And they've essentially used corporations and lobbyists and the political science theater to impose this corporate takeover from within, using the likes of traitors and treasonous, cowardly slaves, really as a power base on the ground. So I'm not saying that the folks in Washington are the biggest problem. I call it as it is. The biggest problem is the men and women all around me on the ground who don't seem to know history, don't seem to understand psychology and sociology, don't seem to understand spiritual faith, and don't seem to understand American history and what the implications are here, right? So, yeah, it's there's a lot there. I don't know if there's kind of more questions or more ideas that you want me to go into, if I covered enough there. But essentially, like a lot of stuff that we have revealed to us, there's a huge deception going on here. Most people are not aware of it, and worse than that, not only are they not aware of what's going on, how does it work, and how much power we potentially have. They say that I'm Dunning-Krugered out, and I'm just over here metaversely fapping, if you will, as they like to say. All the online gamer, internet dweeber, bookworm nerds, right? Who went to all the institutions and the colleges, and now they're institutionalized. You know, the majority of these folks don't think that there's anything such as rights. They don't think that there's anything such as common law. They're all but completely enslaved and ripe for the picking when it comes to genocide. And that's pretty much why the last 4 years happened. You got a whole bunch of folks who are essentially on God's country yelling, "Make America Great Again" at best. At worst, they want to take pharmaceuticals, cut their genitals off, and kill their children. There is no more Babylonian archetype than you have to choose from the left wing and the right wing, which is two wings of the same bird. One side wants to cut their genitals off, take pharmakia, and completely submit to the state. The supposed Republicans, who are supposed to be for God and country and rights, want a big centralized banking system and a big centralized government and a centralized policing system, so they can impose policy and code everywhere all across the world, for safety, for God and country, right? Because Donnie says it's okay, and the rest of them say it's okay, and a host of other things, right? This idea of policy and code as any kind of an authority is the bane of our existence. I don't know how many more times I have to say it, and I don't know how many more fucking scamdemics and engineered wars and big corporate Ponzi schemes and takeovers that you fucking pathetic slaves. See, I was doing so well. Did you notice how I was on those interactions where I first bring up? I guess I got comfortable here, huh? I get comfortable in certain venues and I start to come out of my shell more. But did you notice how peaceful and equitable and loving and just, sort of mellow that Pauly boy was when he first came into this onto the internet? And now fast forward 3 to 5 years later, I'm becoming a monster because you're making me. Forget who said that. Is that Kanye? It's very Kanye. You got a lot of folks who want to label me. They want to judge me. They want to persecute and prosecute. They want to demean and devalue. And more importantly, they want to sit idly by, tell me how much they love me and not do a motherfucking thing to stand for what's true and what's right. So if you ever wonder why guys like Kanye and others, presuming it's real and it's not all an act, if you ever wonder why they like come on camera and on microphone and just start spazzing out on everyone in the room, because like me, they're sick and tired of watching a whole bunch of punk ass cowards run their mouth in private. But then when we're out and about and we're on the ground and we got to do shit, you don't hear or see hide nor hair of them. Right. So it starts to make you feel a bit alone on the journey. Right. And if it wasn't for like a handful of folks directly on the ground in my direct life every day, kind of being a bit of a support system and being able to talk with me about this shit and kind of bond with this, I'd probably be, I guess, well, closer to God. You know, because that's all that this ever really comes back to, right? If I'm answering honestly, you know, I could do the whole sensationalize, oh, I'd be out of my mind and it's just so hard and burdening. And it's like, it's not really, because all this amounts to is testing and challenging one's faith, you know? And every time that happens, if I'm alone on this journey and I don't really have anybody on the ground, then I essentially just, you know, surrender in faith. And I presume that, you know, there is no burden that a man is given to bear that is too much if he can handle it. You know, so if it can be dealt with, then why complain? If it can be dealt with, then do it. You know, take a page out of Marcus Aurelius's Philosopher King book. If it is bearable, then why not just bear it? You know, and this is the thing I can't really understand about most folks is like, don't you want to see what you're made of, if nothing else? Oh, Polly boy, why would you want to, you know, go like they think if you gave me $1 billion that I would like trade in going to jail, exercising rights and doing in quotes activism like they all like to talk about. I wouldn't. That's the thing. I didn't start this to get money, and there's not any amount of money in the world that's going to quench the thirst of this rush. Call it ego and pride, narcissism, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I call it being a man. There is no rush. There is no completion. There is no fulfillment. Like knowing that you're a man while knowing that you're surrounded by punk ass fucking cowards, and that you at least get to say, well, I tried, you know, I really gave it a shot and I proved some concepts and I put some shit on record and I came out the other side better than ever, you know? So you do it for self, right? Like we can sit out here. Oh, it's for the black children in Africa. It's for the goldfish in Chinatown, you know? And obviously I'm being a dick because the cops are calling the Asians goldfish, which that's now going to stick. You know, that's when, you know, we're taking that with us on this broadcast. Yeah, man, you do this for yourself because you don't want to look yourself in the mirror from now to the day you die and see a punk fucking coward who never did shit to be the change. It's really as basic as simple as you could get. You know, I literally woke up like 1 week and I said, I've been studying this shit for 3 to 5 years at least. I know how psychology works. If you don't fucking jump out the window, you wind up stuck in the burning building, right? So you got to feel that heat behind you that compels you. That's why I say jump out the window like that, because that's how I imagine it. The house is burning down. You could tell me about the fall from grace. You know, you could tell me about all that, but the house is burning down. So I got to go out this window. It's a forward escape. You know, the fall is not going to kill me. Being self-immolated by the fires of slavery, that's a different situation. So I just got tired of being a punk fucking coward. I got tired of living on America and having all this opportunity and supposed system that stands to uphold rights and justice and not try to see what that was made of along with me and who and what I'm made of and exercise those rights. And again, it just started with the right to travel. So folks who want to shit on me and hate on me that I ride around with Jennifer and this, that, and the third, you don't do shit. So you could sit there and talk about how I haven't been moving around in property and all the rest of it. Since I came back here, I've moved my car around. I got a US DOT number, and now I'm changing that again. Every 6 months or every year or 2 years, I change how I move that property around. You know? And again, it's easy to sit in chat boxes and everywhere else just talking about what I'm doing while you don't practice any exercise of rights because you're too scared to go to jail. You know? So, like, let's just call it what it is. You could say I'm crazy because I've been doing a bunch of shit that keeps getting me arrested and facing jail time, which forces me to have to uphold the law and understand it and have a conviction in my heart and ride on that. I wouldn't change that for anything. I can't understand why you punk cowards won't start doing that other than the fact that you're cowards. And I can't understand how you're going to pretend like this is anything other than that. You know? It's like you want to bring in my ego and pride and all the rest of it. I'm riding around with Jennifer. So what if I was? So what if I haven't touched a car ever again? Like you didn't just see me do it there. Like you didn't see me get arrested 2 and 3 more times. Like you didn't see me show up at court and do what I do there and get results one way or the other and get and you know, that's what this is about. I'm not the end all be all. If I lose, you lose. That's the thing the hater doesn't really understand. You know, if I lose, you lose. So you should be sitting there somewhere hoping to God, unless you're a complete fucking hater. And either way, that doesn't change the dynamic. You should be hoping to God that I move that property around again and that I secure a right to travel and that I exercise certain fundamental universal rights and common sense so that we all don't go deeper into slavery and genocide. Can you imagine? You know, and it's folks who at one time say you're so great and whatever else, who they get disenchanted, right? And they want to hate. That doesn't look good on you. You know, I'm just a man at the end of the day pursuing extraordinary knowledge. I've gotten extraordinary results. You could argue miraculous, to be honest, from my perspective. So you should want me to win, and you should want that information. You should want to live it to see what the outcome is. If not, you're tricking yourself out of your power and position. Truther cop. Truther cop's in the back. He's getting treatment.
Well, last night I had a fascinating interaction with a cop where, like, I was trying to defuse a whole situation.
Are you driving around without plates?
No, my plates. No, I have. Well, the incident ends with me driving away from a parking lot where I know the cop read my plates as I left in New York. I know they have the technology. I know that he saw as I left after I had the conversation with him. North Carolina.
So what? Well, what's the point? You're not registered. What's the?
Yeah, it's been out. I have I think 7 or 9 charges I just ignored in the courts.
Right.
All based around mostly registration, all that. The unlicensed operation of the motor vehicle was that's not even how they said unlicensed operation.
Yeah, I was watching a thing yesterday on Mexico. It goes on all the time. People ride around with no license. The cops stop them. They'll say that's they let them go. They say it's corruption. No, there's a common law and a corporate law, and the common law and the common sense is that unless you're completely mind and heart controlled, there's a real world. Like out here in the desert, there's no policy and code. There's no big business. It's just men and women and their word and self-governance. And if anyone gets out of line, they get dealt with. We don't need to have policy, statute, and code because there's common sense and therefore there's common law. Yeah, absolutely. We're so deep into this fucking mind and heart control that these folks don't even believe any reality exists outside of statute, policy, and code and the corporation that has a president, vice president, treasurer that they call United States and voting for the president and all the rest of it. They're that deep. Do you guys not really? You guys don't really. I think some folks kind of do, but on the whole, you really don't understand because we're all born in it, and then you have like breakthrough moments where it hits, and then everyone sort of goes back to thinking, oh, it's okay, and they forget. Like you're that deep into a fascistic dynamic where you can't even see it. Most people, everywhere you go, there's policy, statute, and code. Everywhere you go, there's no rights. Everywhere you go, there's this, and again, maybe that's just my experience because I'm so paranoid, right? And the experience is different for the slave because they say, Paulie's paranoid. We go everywhere and feel safe because we choose to ignore the reality. As if seeing these guys who look completely angry and soulless and are now tatted up in black uniforms with military gear because the public's the enemy. You feel safe around that? That warms your heart, makes you feel safe, especially after the last 4 years, And it's like, I see what it is. It's not that I'm an extremist. It's not that I'm radical and wild and I'm a contrarian and I'm oppositional. They're really that dyed in the wool, fascistic, mind and heart controlled, enslaved out. It wouldn't matter what they were doing. They could literally, do you guys not really realize that they could literally have, and they do now, whether you want to realize it or not, they're called private prisons, but they could literally have open air FEMA slave camps with barbed wire where you just kind of get rushed in and liquidated And these people would make excuses for it. The people who call me and everyone else sobs hits, they'd be right there cheering, saying, "Oh, Paulie boy." They actually ask for it on the online message boards. They say, when are they going to take these people all away and get rid of them? That's where we're at. We're so deep into a modern day Holocaust, fascistic, Nazi, Fourth Reich situation that half the country, men and women, are online clamoring for Paulie Boy. Go on Paul and Slave, the first channel this week, with the one with all the subscribers that shadow ban like crazy. Go on and watch when that guy got arrested and dropped my name, how all the people showed up and are now this week saying I should be put in federal prison for conspiracy because I gave out
dude,
bad
that's
faith
absurd.
legal advice.
It's like everyone knows that we need a way out of the situation we're dealing with. And then when people actually take a stand, those are the first people put on the front line and criticize so harshly that it's like, just shut it down, basically. And that's what I see you facing.
Yeah, I mean, do you know how grotesque it is to watch hundreds and thousands of folks show up on the channel and specifically because they saw someone get arrested and just clamor for blood and say, we want our fellow countryman or woman arrested, put in a box, killed because you dared to civilly disobey the policy and code and do something outside of what everyone believes is normal slavery. It's beyond disgusting and disheartening and grotesque.
This seems to be modern politics. Like the whole election is like based on which side belongs in prison, who belongs in prison for what reasons, how are we going to enslave and lock people up further? Vote for that type of leadership. That's what your leadership is going to be dictated by.
That's how you know that. And then they think that I'm sensationalizing. If I am, stop me. I don't think I am. That's how you know historically where we're at on this land. It's in the air. We know that's why they say things like, while they're sensationalizing it, it's not a reach when they say Donnie's going to get in and go Hitler on everybody. We've adopted the Fourth and Fifth Reich, the medical tyranny. Have you seen it? The private prisons where folks are working for free based on being put in there for violating codes of the state. You know, the eugenics, you know, the homeland security, the tracking, tracing, all of it.
It all diminishes our lack of will to live and our ability to comprehend how vast our vision could actually be that we could achieve as people, like being honest, genuine people.
I'm telling you, as wild as it sounds, potentially you're going to see here another Hitlerian event. You're going to see potentially extreme economic downturn. That's already in the air. Everyone's clamoring about it on TikTok and the media with the inflation and all the rest of it. They're doing everything they can to try to keep the beach ball under the water. At some point, it's gonna do what it does, right? You can't keep
and
it
the
under
deeper
the
you
water
take it, the farther it's going to go up. You know, when it shoots out.
So that's when these events happen. That's what people don't understand. When they study the history of these various empires that go into ruination and millions of people get dragged off and killed, it's on the tail end of an economic event where everyone's in hardship. Everyone's doing bad. They want someone to blame. Who did this? They're never going to go look in the mirror and say it was us, of course. Who did this? And they're going to say the Soviets, the terrorists, the one who didn't get the vaccines, the ones who won't. They're the enemy. They're the evil ones. Something's got to be done about them. The ones who want the guns without the policy and code. And they'll say, Paul, he's doing an Alex Jones takeoff. He's sensationalizing. I don't really see it that way. I'm literally watching from a firsthand perspective, like what I saw the other day. Now, granted, we were let out. The charges were dismissed, and now we're suing them. But we're already at a point where people show up. They're in uniforms. Doesn't matter what uniform. They think they have implicit authority. They can play God. Have you, a woman, and dogs put in a box and have it their way. You don't leave. You don't get out. And all it's going to take is some predictable economic collapse scenario where it gets revealed that everybody's now tethered to each other based on that system, the stock market, whatever else. So now there's going to be a drop in a quality of life, and there's going to be an overall air of lawlessness, right? And that's when the dictatorships come in. And that's when people support it because they just want everything to get better. They'll do anything to make it get better, including supporting the liquidation and genocide of their fellow man and woman. You think that it can't fucking happen? I'm watching them on my channel calling for it this week. They're saying I should be put in prison for 20 years for conspiracy, one after the other. They're literally like engineered demons who've been let out of their cage. You know, and at the end of the day, can I be fearful of my safety? No. Is it rather predictable that if I keep doing what I'm doing and being seen as much as I am, that at some point someone's going to test me and challenge me or try to do away with me? It's rather predictable historically. The names of hundreds and thousands of people on every land who attempt to create a way and make a change and do the same with their fellow man who get taken off and liquidated because they're the loudest voices. And tell me all about, too, all you cowards on the internet, how the loudest voices are always the most cowardly. That ain't what I'm saying. I got a big fucking mouth, and I've been running it for years straight, and I'm doing what the fuck I say. And the rest of you quiet motherfuckers ain't about shit.
At the end of the day, I think that they have to convince us that somehow they could have the upper hand. They somehow so we have to have the willingness to live. We have to be determined with our vision. We have to live in unity
have
with
the willingness to die as well. This is what I'm talking about.
Right. Well, of course.
The willingness to truly live is the willingness to potentially experience death. It's part of life and the test and challenge here.
For sure. Right. But at a certain level, we can get to a point where it's like we don't even have to experience the thought of dying. Because we can just accept the fact that we are with creation, we are one with creation, and that our vision will carry forward. We can accept that at a certain point, but it's always a work. It's always work to there's always work going on, man.
Right. The biggest practice, if you want to call it, rather than work, is faith over fear. I've done this enough with folks where I know what the choke point is, where they want to do more. They want to jump out the window or get out of their box. And they're too scared. They're too scared that somebody's going to come knocking at their door or send them a stack of paperwork, and they're going to have to really stand on something with real consequence.
And the thing is even if they live within that system and try to obey all of the things, and then they get deeper into it, and then they want to speak out, it's going to be even worse. So you might as well speak out now.
It's not even about speaking out, but it's just about living, dude. There's no shelter next to Satan.
Right.
You can't climb the ranks of Satan. You think you're gonna get closer to him and be more protected. There's no 100% security in life, and that's freeing. Just like, at any point in life where I'm like, I'm scared to do this, scared to do that, I just go, what's the worst that can happen? And most of the times it wasn't death. But even if it is, that's a different conversation. But most of the time it's not death. You talk about your 9 tickets. Like, go to the end of that. What is the end? What is the end of them? What are these folks even saying? Oh,
bro, people are scared to death. It's hard. It's the hardest part for me is like to find a reason to keep living. Like that's seriously.
But then, but that's a different problem. That's why most people are scared to death because they haven't lived yet. That's why most of these fucking people do all this bullshit code and following and cowardice. Because they haven't lived a fucking day in their lives. That's why they're so afraid to die, because they haven't lived yet. It's a problem for them. I don't know if you're speaking about in the eye, truth or for yourself. I mean,
of course, yeah. I mean, we all go through a development growth process from where we grow from our groundation and truth, and we put our roots down into the earth, and then it becomes actually what it is, and the fruit bears. That's a whole process, and there's pain along the fucking way for sure. But we all have different ways to say it.
Yeah, but most of these things, dude, are not death at the end anyway. Like getting tickets in the car or shit like this. It's like they're not even saying. You can just escalate in your mind the fear. Oh, I'm gonna get points on my license. Oh, I'm gonna get my license taken away. I can still travel freely without the license. Oh, they're gonna put out a war rant. Okay, they're gonna declare war on me because I didn't pay some bullshit. Oh, they're gonna say collections. Okay, you're gonna summon me. Oh, okay. Even if I do show up or press something onto the record or some kind of claim, okay. What are you gonna do? You're gonna throw me in a fucking cell? Is that what it's going to come to? I mean, I don't think that's how far it
And
goes.
oftentimes it doesn't, because when you actually take that stance, no man's willing to like literally go through all those motions by the time at the end of the day when you're standing.
Right, but you have like in all things, you have to like walk through that fear. Just like you see that bitch you think is attractive, you go and talk to her, you walk through the fear. You don't care about the possibility that she's just gonna laugh at you, say you're ugly. Who cares? The cold call you got to do for business, the thing you got to do for rights and freedoms, like anything, the thing that you think you should do, even though your family, your kin, your fellow brothers say you shouldn't do it because of X, Y, Z. If you think it's right, and you fucking do it. So most people are not going to the end. They're not even like going to the logical ends of things and going, what's the worst that could happen? What's the best that can happen? Because, like you said, most people don't even know what that best outcome is. They're not even looking at it.
No, that's the people, and when we assume the worst, it's typically not even anywhere. It's not near that, because we're not, like Paul was saying earlier. We're not going to be given more than we can carry. It won't happen, especially when you take that fight. And it's scary for a reason. Like we have limited access and limited information to the path we have to cultivate and create and cut through to get to people. But that's why there's power. That's why we get to take charge of the situation when we finally like make that determination that we're going to be more.
Why you keep saying we? You said we like 60 times.
Oh, fuck off, Benton. Get the fuck out of here. Get Benton, kick Benton off the panel, please.
No. I'm not doing that to be like, I'm not part of that. I'm a rogue.
We are like, if you're aligned with what I'm talking about, then we are we. If you're not, then fine. You can be part of the royal we. That's the royal we. If you're what I'm talking about, if you're riding with me.
I don't know, man. I think you're worried about too many other people. Like, I don't know about that.
I'm not worried.
You're saying we, and then you're talking about like, oh, but we got to do this, we got to do that.
Because I am always willing to do the work, whatever it takes, when I have to step up and do it. That's what happens. That's what's always happened in front of me. So I will talk about we. I will talk about us, because I have to sit here and fucking get the thankless burden of being like the fucking shit toilet cleaner of the spiritual fucking environment that I'm involved with.
You don't have to do that. I don't know why people think they have to do that. Like this guy up here, he writes, lush lizards are victimizing us. And then like a minute later, he writes something like, I'm a real powerful, nobody, and then he says, they can call me anything except a coward. Like, you do realize, Void, you're being a coward when you write things like that there are things out there that are victimizing you. When was the last time, hey Paul, when was the last time you saw on the savannah or on one of those animal planets a lion fighting with a hippo? When was the last time you actually saw that?
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
It doesn't happen. A predator never goes after another predator or a really large, just like neutral party. It just doesn't happen.
Well, because
it never goes after prey with horns.
Or prey with horns, or like spikes and shit.
Well, because the ultimate goal of all this shit is to convince you there is no predators lurking to steal and fucking destroy what you have. There is none. Don't you worry about that. That's the ultimate deception.
I'm the terrorist, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, who turned on the good people who are just trying to keep everyone safe with my sob-sit mumbo-jumbo oppositionalism. And something should be done about it if you read the comments. I tried to pull them up, but you can't see them.
Well, truth or slave, you're always going to be locked into that reality, though. Because like I think that the they that you talking about is a fucking hyena. I don't think it's you think it's a big bad what?
I can't talk about we, but you can talk about they. You're bringing a lot of policy statute and code in the conversation to me. I don't appreciate it.
You said 75 times. You keep saying they, like it's the big boogeyman, like it's not the old man behind the fucking curtain. Like it's not
the old man behind the curtain is you, of course. It's me.
So what are you
it's an
worried
individual
about?
Experience for each one of us.
So why is it we they against something else when there's nothing else there? The enemy is
because there's
itself.
nothing. Not light. Light is nothing, right? Yeah, light. Never sound is nothing.
Okay. Great stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing to it. There's no great stuff. No, Tim, you said great stuff. There is no great stuff. Nothing exists.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing false like copeism, false stoicism. I'm not doing that. Where in your life does this ever happen except for traveling on the public roadways? Can you give me any instance where you don't volunteer, where they come and act off of your charge, your claim, your volunteering? When do they do that?
But this is what I realized today. I'm in charge. I am in charge of my life. I am in charge of my reality.
Now you're being disingenuous and you've disengaged from the conversations, and it's boring.
Are you
Then it
reading the
becomes
chat
boring.
again, Timmy, or are you talking to me? Because if
we
you're
just
talking to
answer
me,
a
you're
question?
retarded.
I'm just being direct to you because you seem to be so afraid of everything. Where's the big problem directly in your experience? There's a big fucking goose egg usually in people's fucking answers. Right, great stuff.
I don't have a problem. I'm not concerned about my problem. I don't really have a problem.
Oh, so you're doing another communism, collectivism. I'm worried about everyone else saving everyone else. That's why you do the truther cop nonsense.
I've come to a point of understanding and realization that if I don't speak my mind and present my perspective, that people suffer as a consequence, even if I feel like that I should keep my mouth shut, because they could suffer. If I spoke, they could suffer. But if I keep my mouth shut, I've learned they suffer more.
Who's they?
The people around me.
Why does that require a broadcast? Why does everyone have to do a broadcast where they're waking up all their tards around them?
This is Paul's broadcast. I mean, we're on Paul's broadcast, not mine.
Yeah, but you guys do this in your lives constantly, and you think you have to go and make your own broadcast and talk to all your folks and people and talk about the big bad boogeyman all the time, no? Right? No? All right, forget it. Let's just go all the way the other way.
Forget about it.
There's so many hurricanes. There's so many federal agents. Oh my God, it's all so horrible. Let's look at the stars and the numbers, and let's just continue being slaves while we look at the numbers and stay really scared. Let's all be scared. Let's see. Citizen, slave, cooperative. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're talking about. Guess you're remembering something that happened. Brother, stop imagining disagreements. Thank you. That's wonderful. Yes, number counting, stars, etc. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why that example isn't why you guys don't like it, the chat people. Again, if you guys think you're little worms in the sand and there's like a hyena like walking around, you're gonna get stepped on by a bunch of hyenas. I can't change the shape of the earth or the beings in it. So, but I can grow, right? So I don't have to be a worm, right? So humans have the ability to imagine and change their course. And the other beings, it seems like they can't do that. Wipe your mouth. What are you talking about?
We're growing through our own understanding
is
of
this
life.
snap tard? What? LCJC, another LCJC tard? Again, just be afraid. Just blow your brains out with hash oil explosions, and wear the mask and vote harder. It's the same fucking script every time, right? Can't even spell wipe correctly. Oh man.
At least it didn't say whip your mouth. At least that wasn't what was insinuated there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He's still saying weep that ball sweat off your mouth. Which balls?
Yeah, but Timmy, hold on, Timmy, for a moment. I know this is your hour, the Jew Boss co-host moment.
Yes.
Yes. We're constantly degraded. It's like you can't take charge of your own life, is the understanding. And then, but they're going to pile charges on us. They will pile charges on us, whoever they are, right? So, like, why don't we just take charge of our own existence and be ourselves, right? This is what people come with all sorts of excuses why they can't do it, and
Yeah, that's
those
fine.
excuses are what I would say is like well, you defined it in certain ways, but to me, I was having a conversation with my brother earlier about a panther. Like, it would be awesome to have a panther, and I was considering what it would mean to have a panther to follow me around. A panther's not going to like just be by your side. It's going to sit out in the mountaintop, and it's going to watch the whole fucking valley, and it's going to have your back when you need it, and it's going to wipe out any of your opposition before you even like. That's what an ultimate panther partner does. But then there was a new picture I found at Tractor Supply when I went to the Tractor Supply. I've been trying to edit. I can't edit my avatar. I found the fucking black snake. It was a black snake.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to let you go, because I'm not gonna let this degrade like that. You telling a story for 5 minutes that is completely insane. Void wants a joke. Yeah, sure.
That's you. That's you.
All right. Good. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Were you a little
Yeah,
sus on
Frank.
were you a little sus on where he was going with that, Timmy?
No, I couldn't follow at all, and he's just rambling, and it's the Timmy Jubos co-host hour, so I'm like partially responsible for how horrible the broadcast goes at this moment.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not interested in hearing a story that's gonna last 5 minutes, and I have no idea what he's talking about. The crowd is yelling, "What is he talking about?" Timmy, not now, please. You're gonna lose it. All right. Actually, wait a second. Why can't I? All right, LC, take a 5-minute break, please. Oops. Somebody else might have just gotten thrown in the dungeon. All right. Fuck off, LC. You've got nothing to offer. Come on up and have a discussion. Okay, Chudaka, Erez, back.
I can't fucking change my avatar. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's great. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. All right, folks. What else? Oh yeah, I've been to Rwanda before. We were talking about genocide and slavery. Yeah, I was actually there. So,
Timmy, are you aware that Nachi Keita has changed locations and studios?
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, a slave has changed locations. A slave in the Truth of Community has
At
changed
some
locations.
point, if you wanna pull up, if you want to pull up the Nachi Keita, pathetic warrior interactions lately, I think that you would. I'd like to hear your commentary on them.
Really?
Potentially.
I do. I love Nachi Keita. Let's go.
Minutes.
1 5. The number you have reached is not in service. This is a recording.
Right,
that number might not be in service, but I am.
All right. I'm a little bit rusty here, I guess. Let's find the Nachi Keita Z's, or what do we got? The folks want to hear some making fun of Z or Bentar, or hey, you guys want to see a Bentar?
Yeah, check in on Bentar. That's a good idea. We haven't checked in, man. I want to hear you check in.
I checked it. I saw he was up to like 2 weeks ago. He's looking real disheveled. He's like begging for a couple of dollars, just chiding the audience.
Dude, Benton, he blocked all of my alts, fucker. He's blocking me. Hey, Benton, stop blocking my fucking alts, dude, and stop allowing Carl too.
I didn't even know he was still existing. Like, where is he? He's in some purgatory somewhere, barely existing.
I have no idea.
He's technically there, but kind of in a void.
I did see boy in his chat, so it would make sense that he's in some sort of a void.
Coming at ya.
Gotcha.
There's just in.
All right.
Bedtime was found. Bedtime was found. Still broadcasting in a void somewhere. Breaking news.
All right. Let's see. All right, folks. Here we go. I guess. What do we want? Power to the
channel. I
sheeple.
don't want anyone to. I don't want to give these people any viewers anymore. I'm way too kind to them. I give them audiences and then they turn on me, as you've seen. So yeah, don't like promote indirectly. Just let these people in on the cast of characters and see if it goes somewhere. Just we're humoring ourselves at this point, right? I really don't care. We're 3 hours in. We're out of the algorithm today. It's just the hardcore degenerates who've been here from the beginning. So they'll watch anything, and they'll pretty much, as Mr. Talcott says, they'll enable me to do anything. I could pull my dick out on this broadcast.
Yeah.
And these people would be like, "Hey, that's Pauly Boy."
But Paul, I want. Listen, I didn't see what I caught you after you popped off. After it was like you were like you hit a moment there. It was like when you're small, like one of the first 3 valleys, the first 3 peaks you'll hit. The first 3.
Anyone know what he's talking about? Anyone?
Nobody does. Nobody ever does. Just let me fucking speak for a moment. Nobody ever gets his fine.
Clue what he's talking about?
Nobody does. But they get what I'm saying. Fucking dude, I was trying to get somewhere. Whatever, I'm gone now. I'm done. I give up.
What the fuck is your problem, man? All right, Bantar, everyone.
Oh, what I want to see, Paul. I want to see your original, like your first streams. You keep talking about these older streams. What I'm saying is, I only I caught it after you were out of the tent. I want to see you review your older streams at some point. That would be awesome. Like your oldest ones, like really original.
Pretty sure they're up there, man.
I guess Flow State was mine. I'm not sure. Maybe he's still going. I think that's
all right, Benton, everyone.
My eyesight is so bad.
Let me tell you about health while I'm almost dying. All right.
An audio check.
I'm gonna drink 24 eggs a day in my coffee rather than licking some actual vagina.
Referring to it as such. Maybe we'll have the airing.
Vagina is so gross.
I might have to switch phones.
All right, I'm bored already. Yeah, all right, great stuff.
We're just chilling. We're just hanging out in the truck, by the way.
Yeah, we can see that, man.
What Ben like? Did Ben just go over the edge at some point? He didn't come back. He looked like he combed his hair with an egg beater.
Ben's gone over the edge at many points, bro.
Yeah, I'll never forget when Bentard came at Timmy for giving
on the
advice
audio?
about
Can you hear me?
alcohol. The
Yeah, that
Crunchy
was
Bee
fun.
situation.
I'm
He
hearing
got
some
real
interference
neurotic.
through my headphones, but I have no idea if that's transferring to the stream.
Why does he have skunk hair?
All right, Bentar coming at you.
Yeah, you do the bench. Well, you gotta get him on the show. This guy Ben's doing great stuff. Really good.
I'm so sick of the bright siding of the fucking slave matrix hell realm.
So Ben, when did you have your first awakening that you were like religious and great at broadcasting? When did that happen?
Is this when he was like a hyper bitch to you, Paul? Because there was a moment where Benton was a super simp for you, Paul. It was ridiculous.
It's amazing. It's a
They all
dichotomy.
do that. They all
The
suck
hell
up to me
realm,
and give
but
me
it's
money,
all
and then I call them out, and then I'm the worst guy ever.
I'm in a
And I have
brand
to be
new truck
attacked.
here. It's like
It's
living
like,
Mitchell
for me to,
style. But,
all right, for me to continue
like
the
a couple
test,
of
give me
rungs above,
$10. I'm not continuing until the
we got
check
the
is
diesel
$10.
generators running to provide the electrics to charge the batteries.
Gonna
Audio
withhold.
is echoing.
Hold on.
Okay. I think we're gonna have to switch phones, so bear with me.
We're gonna have to switch bodies.
Might just have to go on the laptop.
Well, what was real funny on one of his
Dies
last
in
Unfortunately, you
podcasts,
can't do that, Benson.
Plan B.
hey, he was bringing up that video about the couple that brought up Paul on one of those body cam videos, and he's like, "Am I the only one who knows about that couple that brought up Paul, or am I out of the loop?"
Are you the only one who knows? What do you mean? The one you saw on my broadcast covering here? like, I love that game.
Mic check. Mic check.
You know what? I
Hot
really
coffee
like.
and
Hey, Bentard. I really like.
mic check. Mic check. Hot coffee in a proper copper coffee
Stay
pot.
confident, man. Stay confident.
We got to
He's
just
like
turn his
98
phone off.
pounds.
His phone is out of its mind.
Let me tell you about health. Tell us.
Yeah, those. Have y'all seen those kiosks at the entrance of these WalMarts where the thing buys your phone? I think this as soon as I get my new phone, that old phone is
Okay, here's.
going into one.
Wait, let me pause this shit. Here's some fucking.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Please, please.
What's the deal with the lime tree haircuts nowadays and lines at the lime tree haircutters? What's the deal with that?
What's the deal with being
Go ahead,
authentic
Tim.
at any part in your fucking life? Oh, I'm almost dying from all my horrible mistakes and actions and thoughts, feelings, and beliefs for my 46 years of living. I'm never gonna fucking admit that because I'm a fucking stubborn Alabama but fucking Irish 170 IQ. So I'd never admit, this is why I almost died. I almost died because I was drinking myself to death, and now I'm 97 pounds. I know why I almost died, because I have 170 IQ. I'm much smarter than all of you. I'm much smarter. I just drive this truck because I like to move around.
Timmy, please tell me. That's the thing. Would you guys be nice and tell me? Because their rap sounds a lot like mine, where I go, I'm pretty much the smartest guy in the room usually, and this is my reason for that. And then I lay that, and then they go, like Zach Hubbard yesterday. He kept coke mouthing and then yelling at the audience. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's because you got to get your IQ up. And I go, Zach, I'm not sure that you're that bright.
Dude, Zach literally said yesterday that his IQ is higher than most people's. I could not fucking believe it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. These guys have a way of saying like whatever I'm saying or doing a bit on, they're saying it actually, but they have nothing to show for it. Like that's what's shocking to me is that like, and I go, where's the seam there? Like, where's the fine line between confidence and faith after you've woke up after a certain point that you are valuable and you do have power as a self versus just in some grandiose delusion? They're like, I'm saving the world. I'm the smartest guy in the room. And I go, oh my God, am I doing this? I go, do I have Hubbard syndrome? Do I have Talcott syndrome? And it could always be a little bit of yes and a little bit of no, I guess.
Well, dude,
like if you have
L.
results,
Ron Hubbard, Zachary Hubbard. What the fuck? Scientology. Holy shit.
Right.
Hold on. Breaking news. Breaking news. Another slave has entered the arena. Tribe says the voyeurism and gossip is embarrassingly immature. That's you. What are you doing? You haven't come up and talked to anybody.
Wait, he's doing voyeurism and gossip right now as he's you were sitting there the whole time watching us and pretending you weren't here, like you were looking through the bedroom window. What does that even mean? It's not embarrassingly immature. It's why I have a connection with an audience here and why you're only known on your channel for being extremely boring and unengaging. Because there's other
the tribe
people
has
in
a
these
channel.
realms,
He has a channel.
Truth or flop, please. There's other people in these venues, and try as you might, it's almost impossible to not have people developed as a character in this experience and simulation. How is that gossip? How is us talking about what we've experienced with other people and ourselves in life gossip? We're not sitting around going, man, like, we wish we were Zach Hubbard and we want his money and to be like him, but we're going to hate on him. And he, he's got a small penis. Like, what are you talking about? Gossiping, calling people out, holding them. Do you not realize that because I've been quote unquote gossiping that everybody's shook in these fucking zones now? As Fat Cynthia calls them, sectors. Do you not realize that I, along with like maybe a handful of others, have everyone shook to death because we like went in and held everyone accountable and didn't fucking pull punches and didn't like go along to get along and do bad business to screw the people?
Shout out to Mo 3 Sector Rep Brian O'Shea.
Yeah, they're not getting it. That like at times this becomes a talk show and we cover the metaversal miscreants, and I do it so far and few between at this point compared to what I used to, but it's still relevant because they're still chattering, they're still running around grifting, they're still clutching and lacking in completion. They're still claiming they want to work with me, like Zach Hubbard 2 days ago. This isn't
Do you realize
gossiping.
that
This is calling
Jaguar
them out
right?
and
Do
holding
you know
them
what that
accountable.
bitch is doing now?
Listen, bro, you know, this is what these folks don't get, how small of a world this is. That woman was here, paid me because she said that I exemplify leadership, and then went on to be on a whole bunch of other communication platforms. I mean, like, how is that gossip if I'm living my information and they're not, and I'm calling them out and asking them to live it with me, or they're traitors and treasonous? That's putting everybody on record. That's not gossiping. That's what needs to be done.
A citizen
Was
slave
Jaguar
says,
right gossiping when she said Diddy and Sean and Jay-Z and all the rest of them are doing evil and doing wrong and whatever, and then on this broadcast, and then 6 months later, that's now top news?
Right, exactly.
Was that gossiping when I broke it here first, but it didn't happen because Pauly Boy's not Fox Noise? Like, no one gets that. Like, people forget that things are done here in this hole on YouTube in the back channels that then become mainstream, and then everyone goes mainstream, and it's like, well, it either started here or places like this, or was here first, but it's never given credit. Whether it's the traveling freely, whether it's right freedom principles, spiritual faith, you got folks at the quote unquote top from where the slaves are sitting that forget that this is an inversion pyramid. So every top is also a bottom. Every bottom is also a top. Don't tell that to Slow State. He'll get the wrong meaning.
He's trying to figure out how Crispy Treat scammed him tonight. This is he fucking grifted for Crispy Treat. Now all of a sudden, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Maybe this is more of a grift. I don't even know. I'm not gonna hang myself on too many words.
You're please. Just because I mentioned a retard doesn't mean I want an anecdote about what retarded nonsense shit they're up to lately, as if it's not the same shit. Playing with a bunch of dumb hoes online and creating more drama non-versations so that he can propel his drama queen non-broadcast. So it's not even worth,
just address
talking about or focusing on.
This slave says, "Oh, Tribe got shunned." No, Tribe has shunned himself, and he's pulled a wizard since like the past 6 months. He's incapable of having a man-to-man conversation. Oh, hang on, partner. You can't have a man-to-man conversation on the internet. Okay, so you can't have a voice-to-voice.
These guys all got grandiose dreams of success for me, but do absolutely nothing to make that happen. Like, we're like reverse Talcotting here. We're like, they go, Pauly, stop destroying your fame and where you could be going. You have so much, these are my stepdads online. And I go, well, what the fuck have you done to actually make that happen? You bring no content, you bring no value, you bring no conversation, you bring no money and funding and support, you bring no connections to people you say you supposedly have. This is a guy who says he has people in Hollywood and wherever else. You know how many people come here, watch and listen to me for years because of just simply what I do on the ground, and then forget that part of what I do here is exploring myself and the venue of broadcasting and comedy and just voyeurism, if you will, like he says. And you want to keep me in that box while doing nothing to actually secure me a position where you say you want me to go, that honestly, I could take it or leave it. I'm the type of person where I step back from me. I go, if we're going to do fame and celebrity, I'd rather see me in the room talking to these bitch ass motherfuckers and lighting it up sometimes than everyone else. But I'm me. So, I can't make that decision for everyone else. Right. But ultimately, I don't necessarily need that.
It can't me. I'm climbing. Listen, I'm climbing.
Give it a fucking rest. Jesus Christ. This is an interesting statement.
You guys hanging over my shoulder over here. He wants me to christen his kid. You believe this?
Stepdad or to
Dude, shut the fuck up, please.
7,000 I charge. 7,000.
This is an interesting statement here. Walter Limestone Bank says Tribe spilled on his channel that he was one of the rare privileged billionaire trust fund babies. Never told us here about that good shit Tribe one. Well, isn't that fucking interesting? And you know what isn't even more interesting? That's not surprising to probably not to Paul, probably not to people.
No, you know what's not surprising is that people got a ton of shit to say, but this is what I mean. You realize that this is why I say and I'm not doing without. So this is not like a complaint of Paulie Boy's insecure. He's doing without. I'm in abundance at this point, more than I expected to be. The point is how many motherfuckers get around me and have way more than they need, if that's true, and then don't do shit for me and what the fuck I do to expand that. And I go, so what does it mean? I never understood that. If you got to a whole bunch of money, non-money, and you just sit around and don't do or be anything, well, what was the point? The point of fuck you money is to tell everyone fuck you and be who you're meant to be.
We're all climbing that
and you ain't doing that, and you ain't putting people on to be truth or flop, please. If you ain't putting people on to be that, what's even the point of having it? It's like becoming a good drug dealer. At some point, you only live to put other people on, because if not, you're going down with everything, and there's no point. Who wants to live in life and be and have success and no one around them have it, or people who you respect? That doesn't make any sense. But again, doesn't surprise me, because what I've learned in doing this is there's few and far between really good and great people who stand on something and are unwavering and are practicing equity and honorability and good faith. The rest, surprisingly, shockingly here, are selfish, self-centered, greedy, two-faced, disingenuous, and if you gave them the world, they'd fuck it up because they don't know what to do with it. That's just the reality of the situation. And that doesn't surprise me looking at the last 4 years and the last 400 years and the last 4,000 years. So that's not a rant about how I'm Talcotted out and I'm losing and I need more. No, I'm telling you percentage wise how few and far between people are actually willing to stand on truth and actually part with something to put into something that they say is valuable, which is what equity is. You give what you want to receive, just like they say. It's no different. And this is the thing. And no, this is not a call for everyone to do it now as if they're going to. No, because most of these people are shameless and don't have a conscience. That's the last 4 years shows you that as well, right? But the reality of it is the same way that they come here day in and day out and may have $1 million or $1 billion and don't contribute shit here, is the same way they'll cry and whine. They don't have rights, freedom, principles, and spiritual faith, and will not be that and do that. Give what they want to receive in all levels, right? So it's no wonder to me why things are the way they are. If anything, I'm thankful and grateful and blessed that I have seen what I have seen, in the sense of the minority who is honorable and good faith and not twisted, because if it was, then now that's something I can say. Like I said before, if it wasn't for that minority of folks who regularly kind of show me that they're honorable and good faith and equitous, I'd be even more of a piece of shit scumbag asshole than folks perceive me to be online when I come on here and just don't pull punches and jump out the window from time to time. Because it's I really am humbled at times where I have to sit back and go, there are about 5% of folks who make up for the rest. But this is no wonder why we're in the situation we're in. And again, they'll say this is Paulie Boy's subconscious grift to try to get in people's guilt or whatever else. No, I'm telling you what I experienced over the 4 years of slaving. That literally 95% of people would sit around, watch me do and be all that needed to be, and then not contribute anything to that situation, and then think something was entitled to them back. And I go, that's not how this works. So it's a microcosm of a macrocosmic situation. It's really called entitlement. They'll come to me and go, Paulie will explain to me how to win at court and all the rest of it, and then never want to contribute anything. And I go, that's how you live in life? I don't expect anything. And part of the reason is to keep me where I need to be and doing what I need to be doing for pure intentions. But it does fascinate me when you watch how folks will show up in other people's lives. They'll ask, like unlike Zach Hubbard, who says he deserves $1 million a month to give people sports scores, right? They'll show up and go, change my life. And then you give them the life-changing information. They may or may not actually use it. And then they just go, well, I don't want to contribute anything to you or with you or for you or toward the higher ideal. And I go, I guess if you like living that way, I wouldn't want to be in your position. See, I never did that. You know, I just took the thousands of hours to research and get it on my own, and listen to what was out there and put it into action and into play. You know, I wouldn't be shameless enough to go around and ask people, hey, could you save me and my life and change my life, and then offer little to nothing, you know, toward them, their community, what they create. I just don't think that that's equitous, you know. But again, it's because I have a spiritual faith practice and because I've seen other things, I just presume that everyone gets whatever is meant for them, and I don't worry about it. But when I bring it back down to home, like to the earthly, bodily, sort of burdened realm, so to speak, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Forms.
Yeah, like I try to keep myself detached from those things, because what will happen is you will turn into a Zachary Hubbard, where you'll come here and for months on end you'll do. I don't know where that compilation went. I wish they would list it because it was great. Someone took him over the course of 6 months, badgering the audience every day, telling them that they weren't shit. They're sorry ass motherfuckers. He's changing the world and they're not giving him enough. Every person should be given X amount. He should be getting $1 million a month. If you don't practice detachment from whatever that is, you will come on and do that and be that and destroy your credibility and value with these people. You have to have a spiritual faith system where you literally tell yourself, do not look at that. Do not be wanton. Do not be needy. Do not have entitlement. Do not have expectations. Whatever little bit you get or whatever you do get on the whole, you be thankful and grateful for. You're not entitled to anything, you know? And then on top of it, to not even be really doing anything and do that, that's really fucked up. And then him to come out and say, you know, then they'll say I'm gossiping, right? No, I know somebody when they're on cocaine, okay? And your boy over there at Talcott's the last couple of days, he's been yacked the fuck out. So whether he's on Adderall, cocaine, that ain't gossiping. I'm looking at him and talking about it. He admitted he does
We have
cocaine.
just some
once a month.
psilocybin over here.
That's fine. Listen, dude, you can't equate all substances. You want me to take, I got mushroom candies right there. I haven't taken them in 2 weeks. You want me to take 1 or 2 of those? Right? You're going to equate psilocybin mushrooms with being yacked up and saying I need millions of dollars a month to buy family members big houses and come online and then tell the audience. I watched it. They said they all try to act like they're so important. Paulie Boy's watching everything I'm doing. No, that's you. You proved you watch me and follow me. I get the reports from time to time and the clips they email me and I go watch them. And there's Zach Hubbard after he grifts millions of dollars telling people he's going to save the world and use it to hire people, gets online and says, I can't do more than 1 broadcast a week, if that, because I'm like moving. I'm building 2nd and 3rd houses, dude. I wouldn't have the balls to come on and do that. If you see the way I move here, that's why they keep circling back to me, because they know I make them look bad. I come on 3 hours a day at least without fail. Sometimes I check out early, 7 days a week, thousands of days straight. And they're on there telling their audience with millions that they can't make it more than once a week to grift them sports scores and betting. And they want to talk about saving the world and being a truther. I go,
Dude, Zach is embarrassing himself on Talcott's recently. I don't know what the fuck he's thinking. I don't even understand why the hell he's doing that.
Telling he's high on cocaine on there. He admitted yesterday that he does cocaine.
Dude, he goes off in these fucking tangents forever. He won't shut the fuck up.
I do the same thing.
No, it's not me tonight. I will.
But I'm not on cocaine or anything. And I can tell when somebody's fucked up and don't look right. You know, so either that cocaine he does is he's fucked up his personality and his brain, or he's still using that shit. You know?
Either way, he's not being honest. He's so like deflecting with his knowledge technology.
The point is that Zach Hubbard is an everyman, and that's why it's not gossip to me. Is that's the everyman. Is whether it's true thing or not, they come into every venue to try to get money and pussy. They're hedonic, they're pleasure based, they have little to no purpose and true meaning and value, and they have no real principles. That's the inauthentic corporate beta male, and I can smell them a mile away. And it's no wonder why I won't work with them. They can't figure out why I won't work with them.
But yo, you know what the worst part is, Paul, is that these people are not even like attempting to like make me a pizza and then give me this, this bullshit. There's no product. You guys don't do anything. You guys aren't producing anything. There's no product. These people want to come and do their content, and then also I can't do the live stream every day. Again, it's even with businesses. I'm in the business world. I see folks that they're making a product. They got a product. They got 10,000 users on some software. They can't even do a fucking live stream for an hour to address.
And God forbid that you start a fucking LLC in Timmy's eyes. God forbid you start an LLC.
Can you, Timmy? Why do you let me cut you off and talk over you? What's up?
Because I just threw him out like 3 other times, and then he says something about LLCs. You fucking moron! You fall into just all the other bullshit as well. Oh yeah, let's talk about business. Oh, he's gonna talk about LLCs and tax now. He's a piece of shit. Oh my God! Now he's gonna talk about resources, right? Okay, we only talk about source and resource. What the fuck else is there to talk about? Oh, let's talk about the big bad fucking lizard people. Because they're so
let's talk
powerful.
about how bad it is to start an LLC to lick a lizard. They don't exist, but you're so afraid to even start an LLC, you little bitch.
Okay, so what do? Tell us what you do.
I do what the fuck I'm called to every fucking day when I wake up.
What does that mean?
I ask God
what does that
for
mean?
A reason to wake up, and He gives me one somehow every fucking day.
Are you drunk? Like what is this?
No, that's what I do. I just explained it to you. No, there's no like what's.
Okay, so can you give an example? What do you do for value?
I think he's high on that AIDS medication that they're all taking in Africa.
Yeah,
that
AIDS too much, dude.
No, do you see my profile picture?
No, don't deflect. I'm tired of you slave deflecting. Answer the fucking question or you're out.
I was actually. I find
answer the fucking question or get out.
I won't
please.
entertain your bullshit points. I won't give you any fucking.
Okay, bye. See you later. So this is the same thing that happens every time. A deflecting tar does something like this, and they don't answer a motherfucking question in honor. It's fucking.
Can
disgusting.
you ask me a question again? I was on.
Come on, partner. Oh, you got a high IQ. You can't even remember a fucking
I don't
question.
care. You're not going to ask me about
Come on,
myself.
partner.
I'm not going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you.
What the fuck do you do for work and fulfillment in the world?
I'm not going to tell
fucking
you what it
slave?
means, and you're going to cry tonight wondering what it.
Why don't you answer the? Why can't you answer the question? This is why Fleischer.
No, I'm gonna keep throwing him back at you.
I love it. Fleischer. This is why Fleischer is the way he is.
Get back in there, Chip the cop. You
Answer
get
a
a boy.
question.
I want the question asked again. That's why I want the question, please.
You brought up a fucking statement. You brought up a statement. You said, "Oh my God, LLCs are." So what the fuck do you do? Can you explain something to the fucking audience about why anybody should give a fuck what Truth or Slave says?
I breathe air and I get water. I collect food in abundance.
I don't believe you.
I can share it with others. That's what
I don't
do
believe
every day.
you. I don't believe you. You're just saying some platitude.
The people who are fed.
Can anyone validate what he just said is true?
They believe me.
Can anyone else validate what the fuck you just said? Or do you just say shit?
Time to play the game.
Whoa. Hey, I gotta interrupt this crazy. I just wanted to make well, first I wanted to say, Paul, thanks for pointing that out about Zach, because I didn't realize that, but that would make sense, especially with the type of personality he has.
What, you didn't realize he's yacked up?
No, I wasn't really privy to that state of being, although I could notice when they were a host state is gacked up. But, I wanted to make a quick point, guys, about Tribe, and then we can continue the nonsense. My mind's eye had intuition earlier that he would make an appearance in the live chat, how he does every once in a while, taking some shots and not hitting the link. And it's interesting, man, because I was actually going to come in before I even saw he was here and say, you know, why is the tribe over at Jack Talcott's live chat more than here? And, you know, because I saw him doing the same thing he just did here over at Jack's the other day. So, again, that's you, tribe. You know, I thought you were someone to be endeared to and to look up to at first when I came into this community, kind of like a wizard type. But, man, you know, you keep doing this nonsense, and it's really cringe, bro. That's that boomer nonsense, man. We can't be taking you seriously if you're gonna do that. Hit the link, please.
No, I'm above that. I'm the son of a billionaire. I'm a blockhead. I'm just gonna make videos about the maxims that I don't fucking follow. Oh, the maxims are supposed to be just between man and government, huh? What about man to man, tribe? You fucking idiot. Oh, wait. Let's only think about the law and honor and rights and principles when there's an issue. Interesting concept, right? Interesting concept. What about using the maxims in the day-to-day with your other fucking men around you, the community of tribe?
If tribe waits
Guy that calls himself tribe can't possibly lead or even be in a tribe. Well, you guys, I love your names, all your names, your stupid monikers. Always give yourselves away. It's hilarious.
What, you thought they would come on and say disempowered slave number 3?
I mean, that would be more honest. Like Bentar should just come up and put 98 pound Alabama partner. Like that would be better than whatever the fuck he attempts to act like he is. And all you other folks pretending to be something you're not.
I gotta thank Shively. He says, appreciate you and all you do. Thank you, Mr. Shively. Go ahead, Timmy.
Jimmy Shively, the man, the myth, the legend. All right. Yeah, I mean,
when am I going to see
step
the tribe leaks?
Step one in the Alcohol Anonymous that these folks say they went through, the Talcotts, the Bentars, is admit you have a fucking problem. So when you're 97 pounds, going on 96, maybe tomorrow 95, you should probably just admit that and stop doing live streams and go and like fix your health.
Like a decade ago,
perhaps. Or just at least be honest about the live stream. Hey, I'm 97 pounds. I'll probably be 96 tomorrow. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I think I'm dying. Like, let's just be. Can you fucking people be truth? Oh, the truth community. Yet you motherfuckers don't ever talk about your truth in your life that you're actually living. Nah, don't do that. Deflect. Be drunk. Do mushrooms. Do any substance to fucking avoid your existence. What is one thing you project but
or
secretly know is false? What do you project? Secretly know is false. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not projecting anything. I'm just sitting here, and this is what I am at some times. I've got 2 gears. I've got calm, serene, and then I'm just on like this. Do me again. Do me. You're a slave, Void. You're cowardly. You pay attention too much to the fucking system. Too little on. Why are you worried about how powerful and big and bad the system and the outside world is? How much fucking time have you spent on you being like, am I a fucking worm? Why am I acting like a worm? Why do I accept less? How many times have you fucking tried to push your ceiling, push your limits, and seen what you can get, what you can achieve, be, do, and have? Because I bet the answer, it's not. I don't have to bet. I will bet. I'll happily bet. But I know every time, 1,000 times I ask that question, 990 is, oh, I haven't tried shit. I haven't done shit. And then you want to, and then even if I can, but I can't usually even get to that answer because most of you motherfuckers will deflect because you can't possibly look at that because you know I'm fucking right. It's too hard. It's too hard. I'm too much of a coward. Let me do just a bunch of excuses. Coping. Oh, I'm Bentar. Oh, I have a high IQ. I escaped a cult. Talcott. Oh, I escaped the military. I don't do nothing
let
today.
Be reminded to the audience, the Zachary Hubbard he literally said at one point yesterday that he could defeat us because he had a higher IQ. That he literally said that at one point. With his fucking audience and his fucking numerology and all this bullshit, gematria, gay ass shit. He fucking said that shit. He said that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I can't make a live stream. I'm busy. I'm busy counting the numbers for you guys. You guys,
I'm
it's
busy counting how my
2024.
audience is growing.
Any business you guys can fucking do. You can do a live stream and it can be 30 minutes or an hour. You can do it 2, 3, 4 times a week. And you can literally live stream the same shit that you're doing in the business. You got a pizza store, just live stream that. Just sit there, make a pizza and live stream. What the fuck is your guys' problem? Everybody's got some fucking excuse to show who the fuck they are. It's a big problem, right? You don't
Yeah, I
have
mean,
to fucking put on.
he only gets 30 grand a month to give people sports picks based on, according to the Patreon, 6,000 at $5 a month, plus whatever extras. So his base is 30 grand a month to give people sports scores using gematria, which of course has what to do with truthing, I'm not sure, but the missus loves it. All right, give me some final words. We're gossiping. Tribe doesn't like that. It's beneath me as the god of all media. I shouldn't do it. I should just let everyone lie and cheat and steal and grift, sully my name, project false claims about me, not address any of their character, and let them make $300,000 a month off of stupid fucking deluded, duped out slaves, right? It's just, we should all just let that happen, support it. Don't try to, bring any awareness to that. Who cares, right?
Yeah, who cares? Who cares that he'll get 30 or 300 a month and buy more walls, buy more houses where there won't be honor and fucking men inside. No, there won't be a man inside. There won't be anything being actually built and done. Nothing being undone either. Nothing, looking at the stars and counting, that's not undoing anything. And again, these fucks don't tell or show anything about their own fucking lives. They don't say anything about that. They're all LLC'd up, coded up, voting. You know the rap. And whether it's 3K a month or 30 or 300,000 or fucking 3 billion, it's the same shit over and over. Whether it's Tribe's 3 billion or this dude's 30K. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. Maybe that's why Tribe said that. Because deep down, he don't know what to do. Tribe, you know what? I remember the first day you came up here, you were in the shadows, afraid to show your face, right? Yeah. You're a real tough guy, real authentic, right? And you don't know what the fuck to do with it, right? So you're just, what? You're just sad? You don't know what to do with it? Of course you don't. Where's your fucking tribe? All right, anyway. Final words, folks. Truth or cop, final words.
Well, I saw the other guy about to speak, and I don't know his name yet.
Do it. You got the mic.
Oh, it's Exos. Oh, all right.
Yeah, peace,
What did
bro.
I call you? I don't know what to call you.
Yeah, you got the mic. Final words. Thank you. It's good
Thank
to
you,
see
bro.
you.
Good to see you, dude. I don't want to give my final words yet.
All right, great. Crystals, go ahead.
Alrighty. Big fan, Truth or Cop. Bit non-bit. Thanks for the motivation. Always holding a high standard, Paul and Timmy. I want to keep this fire going.
All right, brother. Yo, Cooper, final words, brother?
I just want to say that I don't think it has much to do with IQ, because at the end of the day, it's just a different aspect of the same self running on different operating systems. But the end of these shows are they always go off on different types of tangents, but I'm always here for it. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, Cooper. Yeah, I mean, you can argue it's EQ or SQ, right? Recognizing self as self, not necessarily about mental intelligence, although I think that an aspect of that is connecting dots. So might have something to do with it.
Of course. Talk to you guys.
All right, we'll see you later.
Yo, Choose God, you can go less. I'll go now. Yeah, look, that's what I'll say. I want to say this. Any amount, X amount, resources or tangible or intangible. I don't think one man can know what the fuck should do for everyone in a tribe, if presuming there is a tribe or not, or community. So it's a fucking joke that in 2024, and the uncertainty and complexity that one blockhead man is going to know the answer, right? So either you folks individually are presuming that you know all the answers, and if everybody would just come under a heel, the Talcots, the tribes, you guys, like, either it's that, and you're that like deluded, or what, or you just can't work with others, right? On any level, you can't even come up here and have the conversation of what it could be. Yeah, no, I know everything, right? Give me a fucking break.
These are kind of my final remarks here. This is it. Oh no, I didn't want. Oh man, I want to have a conversation with you, Timmy. I'm not having a conversation. No, I was hoping to talk to Timmy. Like, people aren't willing to stand their ground. At the end of the day, is a conversation we run into again and again, and that should be called out. Like, I'm sorry, Paul. Paul, give me, what do I do here, dude?
Whatever you want. What is that? Oh, that's the Hubbard nonsense. In the background here.
Well, yeah, Hubbard. Fucking dude.
I'm just reading the about. I'm reading the about page, and it's so fascinating how people don't think that other people can see them for who and what they are, knowing themselves, right? Like, even just I want the world to wake up so we can stop having humanity be deceived. And it's like, do you really? Because you guys emulate the controllers. You put out your brand of bullshit and you make your profits and value off bullshitting everyone and essentially getting power from them and deceiving them. So it's like, you say that, but I don't believe you, because if everyone woke up tomorrow and saw themselves and others as they were, they'd stop giving you money. So I don't really believe you that you really want that. I think you want to exploit the fact that human beings are so suggestible and easily manipulatable, and use them to aggrandize and enrich yourself, while claiming to be piggybacking on a rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith path and walk. And that's why you folks seek out someone like me, because I live the brand. I live the information. You just talk it, I live it. And for you folks to really complete your kind of sick, twisted game, you have to get somebody who really walks it and lives it to be a part of your garbage, so you can stand next to them and get credibility, right? Just like every gangster rapper goes to hook up with a gangster in the streets after they get on, so they could substantiate their credibility and their reputation. The thing is, though, most of the time, folks like me and folks like them never get within a mile of you on camera, because we don't want anything to do with you. You're false claiming, so why would we put ourselves next to you? That's the thing you guys don't get. They'll say Paulie Boy's criminal minded. Might be some truth to that. At one point, Zach Hubbard would have been a mark to me, or the folks I was with, you know, because I was there, but I really didn't get involved in a lot of this shit. But it's like, I'll give you an anecdote, and then Truth or Cop, give him a final word. There was a time where people that I was with would get folks like Zach Hubbard to agree to meet like a 15, 16-year-old. And then when they would show up, there'd be something else waiting. Right. So, you know, for you folks who are see-through, because, like, you know, if you look into self, there's all types of kind of scary, dark crevices within self at times, you know, and we don't look at that. We don't recognize that. We don't ignore that. But oftentimes we project it onto others, you know. So kind of what I'm getting at is, you guys should be thankful and grateful that, like, I've matured and kind of learned from life, and I'm not a part of any of these people, places, and things and groups and activities anymore, because you'd be one of them, right? I see your grifting. I see your disingenuousness. I see your lusting, power-hungry ways. I see that you don't do anything with what you get other than squander it and try to aggrandize and enrich yourself and people around you, and you don't put up to get that, so you really don't deserve that. You know, and where I come from, I'm not really like that anymore. I've kind of, like I said, I just focus on doing good and being good and surrendering the rest, because I find my life is better off that way. I feel better. My life is better. I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to have a a dirty conscience, right? But again, it's like, you know, you folks just you really, you've never seen it and never lived it, and you just don't get what's out there, and you believe that you're just going to do whatever you want and get wherever you want to go in life, and that nobody's ever going to pull your card, right? But your ways are going to come to light. They already have. Your dastardly deeds and deceptions are going to come to light. Your manipulation has already come to light, and that's why you've had your reputation and credibility destroyed. See, I at least respect motherfuckers who get on the street corner and put a gun in someone's face, whether it's good or not, it should be done or not, right? I at least respect that because they're like really doing it. They're living it. They're taking chances. They're getting it how they live. You fucking swine who get on a camera and try to pretend you're something you're not and organize events and hand out merchandise and all that just to create a name for yourselves, just so you can go list your accomplishments. Oh, I helped the homeless here. I did that there. Well, you're not supposed to do that. You never heard you don't think that I do charitable things. I just don't talk about it if I do it. If I help somebody or I don't get online and tell, oh, I did this, look at me and look how great I am. If anything, I get online and I say, you fucking slaves. I'm the antithesis of you folks. You get online and you hide all the negative, darker aspects of yourself, and you lie and bullshit and deceive and twist, you know? And then you say I'm bad and wrong and mean because I show darker, negative aspects of myself instead of lying, cheating, and stealing. I go the other way with it, almost as a practice, you know, to keep me grounded, to keep me sort of humble in my own way. That this is about the truth. This is about rights. This is about freedom. This is about principles, about spiritual faith. This isn't about Paulie Boy and Zach and Jack and all the rest becoming pop stars and becoming rich and famous. If that shit happens along the way, well, whatever. There's another set of tests and challenges that come with all that. More money, more fame, more problems at the end of the day. Problems that you motherfuckers ain't going to stand on and have to bring the solutions for. Let's be real. So, you know, yeah, we just, folks got to get it right. They got to see it for what it really is, not what they believe it is or what they want it to be or don't want it to be. You know, sometimes the folks who show up like me and act like how I do and talk like how I do actually care and are in this for the right reasons. The one who come at you with the smile and the bullshit rap and the sales routine and the no results and the give me $5 a month so I can give you sports scores and all that. Come on, you can't see through that. That's the thing, though. There's certain people in this realm meant to be pimped on, meant to be hoed on, meant to be scammed on. And this is why your masters, by the way, do what they do. Because just like I said, they don't like what they do, but they're good at it. So they continue to do it. You folks try to do what they do and you're bad at it. So when they come upon you, they take it personal, right? And that's the same thing I was talking about before. Zach Hubbard, you should be thankful that I am not a part of and with the people I was before, because I'd have pretended to be your friend and I'd have got close to you. And then I'd have shared your details with certain other folks and they'd have like made off with whatever you got. Right. And a piece of it to teach you a lesson about grifting and lying on these people and taking people's hard-earned money to tell lies online. They'll teach you about how the other side of how that works. Right. And then you'll start to rethinking about what you should do with the rest of your life. You know, so you could play your games with the people who don't matter. With the people who matter, we see right the fuck through you. And that's why you haven't stopped talking about it for the last 3 years. Because I got your number. I called you the fuck out. I know who and what you are. You could say I'm a criminal mind. Great. If I got a criminal mind, I can spot all the other folks who got a criminal mind. And I'm telling the whole story to everybody. So that makes me redeemable. Because instead of coming on here and trying to figure out how I could scam on everybody and pimp on everybody and lie on everybody, I came on here to expose the criminality within self and within this race. And you folks can make an informed decision about what the fuck you do with that. That's the difference between me and the rest of you narcissistic, egotistical, criminal scum, presuming I am that. You want to say I'm that? Great. Well, then you're that too. And that's why you're attracted to me in this venue, because you know there's value and power here. The question is, why do you want it? What are you going to do with it? And how are you going to get it? That's another difference between us. See? Go ahead, Truth or Cop. Give him a final word. I could talk all night and say little to nothing at all, right?
Well, I could listen. I could listen to that one. Zachary Hubbard. So, like, dude, I don't even know. I'm gonna play the fool for a moment and pretend like I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, because I'll do that. I'll play the fool. I don't give a fuck. But Zachary Hubbard, L. Ron Hubbard, one of my other, my psyche evaluations out here, he's trying to like figure out what the fuck I'm up to with his theologies, his the Scientology behind everything. This Christopher Brown, I believe his name is. I'm not going to give the name of his channel, but he's out there. Illuminati was talking out there earlier about this. He keeps calling it the Scott Hofstadter guy by name, so that's why I'm gonna call Christopher something. What is it? Christopher what? I'll look it up. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about that. But yeah. Nobody's willing to fucking stand on shit, dude.
Cop, I gotta stop you for a second because I got this fucking hanger on here who's been here for years, and I'm pretty sure I've told you that. Can you get up here? Because I want to look at you again and make sure that I remember you to be the right person. Come on up here on this panel. I'm gonna stop this and give an extra 5 or 10 minutes just for you since you want my attention so bad. Get up here because I want to look at you and I want to address you. I want to know what the fuck your problem is with me for the last 3 years. Why you got constantly hanging off my fucking shoulder and my coattails. I called myself PT Barnum before. No, I called myself PT Burnham because his tagline was the greatest show on earth, and mine is the greatest show is earth. And it's Burnham because not only do I smoke a bunch of trees, but I'm willing to burn all the fake ass truthers around me for the actual truth. So when you ask who my suckers are, it's either dupe, hanger-on, hater, slaves like you, who I got to reveal your true self to you and who and what I actually am, or it's the other fake-ass truther slaves who I burn who think that we're a part of something together till they realize I'm only in this to expose them because we're truthers, right? I'm not in this for your truth, my truth. I'm in this for the truth. That means if your truth and you got to get burned to show the truth, that's the game we're playing here. That's why I told everyone in the beginning, directly and indirectly, don't get near me. I gave them the proviso in the warning. They didn't listen or they didn't catch it. That's not my fault. So stop trying to find fault and negativity and badness where I'm already showing you more than I would in reality by going the other way when I come on here, right? Stop looking for it where I'm already showing you pretty much all of it, right? And you're making more out of it than what it is. See, this is what amazes me. You won't go and do that same type of discernment with the people you like, but you keep doing it with someone you don't like, despite that I've shown you and told you everything, giving you the whole game and who and what I am, right?
These sorts of people would fold in the conversation immediately, like before you even
He's
had
been doing it for 3 years, and then he'll do this. What do you mean, Jeeps? Who says I have a problem? You do, because every time you come on here for 3 years, you got this looking to condemn me type thing. And you don't ask questions to actually find out truthfully who and what I am and then condemn me with that. You presume something and make me rebut it. Go fuck yourself. I'm not on trial with you. I get enough of that when I go to court and deal with these guilty till proven innocent folks. I'm not doing it with you. Who are you? Exactly. And why do you presume that I need to get on here and lie or that I need suckers to do what I do? There's plenty of those and I don't deal with them. That's not what I do. I need leaders, people who want to be leaders in themselves and in life. I'm not in this to grift off suckers. I tell the suckers to go find somebody else who's like them to suck off of and with. I don't want them around me. You might be one of them, quite frankly. Who are my suckers? Go get a mirror. The people sucking
like,
off me for 3 years, all day, every day when I come on here.
Dude, at the end of the day, we need to be in charge of ourselves, our accountability, our responsibility, who we are as beings, and we can't let anyone even presume that they could put charges on us, to put voltage or different ways of conversations to make us ask different questions. But, well, of course we can. Of course we can do that. It's all good at the end of the day. Fuck, dude. I've had such a good few days, dude. I don't even care. Life is good, bro.
I was just gonna say, are you gonna give me the Aaron? And you gave it to me. They're all drunk this week for the full moon. They're all life is good. Amazing too how autistic some of these people are.
Oh,
Where he's down
yeah,
in the chat. He's down in the chat just talking to me indirectly, doing subliminals, pretending he's not, and then going, Didn't Paul once, who's he talking to? Didn't Paul once take the moniker P.T. Burnham? Who are his suckers? What an asshole. You're another person. I don't care how autistic you are. I've seen you and talked to you. You're smart enough to know what you're doing. It's passive aggressive. You're another one who I'd have the large African Americans somehow find their way through your window accidentally because I came in and hung out and ate with you and accidentally left it open. You know, I'm so sick of you passive aggressive, annoying white people. Seriously, I've turned black. I'm voting Biden. Which is a conglomeration of Obama and Biden, and I'm going radically the other way. I'm a new white Black Panther, and I want white people exterminated, like Assad Shakur. I'm so sick of you passive aggressive, inauthentic corporate white dweebs. I really am. I know why your masters want to exterminate you. They're so sick of you. They're so sick of your hanging on and your neediness and your codependence and your entitlement and your selfishness and your passive aggressive weak ass ways. They want you so gone out of here. And I can't deny why. I can't deny it. That's what scares the shit out of me. I've come to a point doing this broadcast and living. I can't deny it anymore. Why they're doing it. That's what you've all done, Truth or Cop. That's what they've done. They forced me to bond with the darkest, most Luciferian genocidal creatures. From their weakness and their cowardice and their passive-aggressive projection and power game ways.
Get me started. I know they're experts at what they fucking do. It's insane.
Incredible. It's incredible what goes on in this realm. Good game, God. Amygdala hijack. Look, he's doing it now. Amygdala hijack. This is where Amygdala, the cousin of one of the African American migrants, just ate your cat. I just showed up with a Haitian migrant who I just gave the nod to eat your cat because we're both sick of you and he's hungry. Amygdala hijack. Do you believe this? I asked you to come up here.
It's incredible.
This is where Amygdala hijacks his car because we're just both so sick of his passive aggressive dweeby bullshit. And then if I ask him, where do you stand in your life? Where do you ever stand on anything? I know what I'm going to get. You all know what you're going to get from Citizens Broadcasting
You're going to
Cooperative.
get nothing.
When I ask him who's a part of the cooperative, you know what we're going to get. Do you want to bet?
Nothing.
It's an understood issue. That's great. The genius orator is now giving me phraseology. It's an understood issue. I think you have an understanding of grammar and the language, and you're pretending to be an intellectual. And that's another bad habit of you passive aggressive dweeby white bookworms. You know how many people used to presume they were more intellectual and intelligent than me at parties, and I just would dumb it down to be cool and mix in. And in my mind, I'm killing you. Like, not really, you know, like, but like I'm in my mind, you don't actually die because it's like a cartoon in my mind, but it's like I'm striking you over the head with a lamp or a candlestick, like Colonel Mustard. You don't actually die in my mind, and it's like a cartoon world. It's the bit non-bit. I'm so sick of you people. It's been from day one. My newest incarnation tomorrow, like today was Abu Busker El Baghdadi. My new one tomorrow is Edie, EATY. I am mean, Dada, as in daddy, because me and him were the same. We get very tyrannical accidentally because we're so sick of the institutional corporate beta male that it draws that. Like, go read about it. Go look into it. Right, Idi Amin Dada, the tyrant from Africa. You know, he was like, you know, an underdog, salt of the earth kind of guy, regular guy. You know, always kind of downed because he wasn't like, graduated, wasn't part of the cult and the institution. So when he rose to power, he just purged everyone who was a corporate institutionalized beta male.
Oh my goodness! Why would he do such a thing?
Well, that's the thing. That's why I don't ever really want any kind of worldly power, because I know that it will corrupt absolutely, and I'll wind up like so many before me, and so seemingly so many after. Like the only thing once you get to worldly power that makes sense to do is purge all the inauthentic corporate beta males who've gotten this place as fucked up as it is. The only problem is that's pretty much everyone. So you wind up like Stalin and the rest of them alone in a workshop all day, checking off names on the list of all the inauthentic corporate beta males.
Or an artist studio. You could end up there alone.
Yeah, right. Anyone wearing a fedora, we're gonna put an X there. It's the same story every time, right? This is again. Why do you need a spiritually faithful principle and perspective to avoid these pitfalls?
Last night it was the first time I like had an interaction with a police officer where like I stepped back from the whole scenario developing, and the police officer was actually I don't know what to call him, a PO guy. The PO guy was
your
coming
daddy.
in.
Just say your daddy.
No, it was
Say
not my daddy. I backed out of the situation. I backed out of the scenario, and my daddy did what he should have done. He did what he should have done the whole time, the whole way through. And my goodness, he sat at the place I was at forever. He sat there, and as I left, he sat there so long I had to drive in front of him. And I know that he read my plate and saw that I had all those fucking tickets I was talking about earlier. I have like 7 to 9 now that I just stopped responding to. I've had so many that like I've responded to and gotten like certain levels of my rights back, I suppose. But like
they were never gone, Truth or Cop.
No,
You can't.
of course not. Of course not.
Yeah, you're just not exercising them. They can't actually go anywhere. They're part of who and what you are. You exercise them or you don't. You don't get them back. They weren't taken.
Right. But everybody wants to talk about lifting weights and all this shit, but they don't want to talk about going to court and exercising your rights, like and talking, which means having a conversation.
Amygdala hijack. Did you guys see that? That was crazy.
Feminine bitch energy. Feminine bitch energy. Feminine bitch energy.
Talcott's fascinating, dude. So is Hubbard. So is Zachary Hubbard. So is L. Ron Hubbard. And
why is this
WYSIWYG.
person not up here? Truth or Cop, please. I need you to get on your cajoling. Could you get this guy up here? I gave an extra 10 minutes for this idiot.
The Citizen Broadcasting Cooperative. Get the fuck up here, you little bitch, pussy slave.
Why are they scared to get up here? They're doing a lot of chatting in the chat, but scared all of a sudden to get up here. Can we have it? Can we have the back and forth?
I've heard a lot of excuses from these people.
So did I mention I'm tired of you passive aggressive, fake secure, false strength, beta male cowards? Did I mention that? And every fucking time throughout life when I called you on your shit, you fold every time. And today's going to be no different, I suspect.
That's why they won't get up here.
That's why court works, because 95 to 98% are inauthentic corporate beta males and females. And when called on their shit, they fucking fold. They cop the fuck out. I got all night. We can wait. We'll play this game as long as you want to play it. Got good reefer.
Well, speaking of people like who sit here in these chats and don't get up on panel much, TCC.
I'm
the
gonna
Talcott
purge. I'm gonna do like Saddam,
bro.
dude.
Get back in the fuck. What the fuck are you doing? I know you're watching.
Truth or Cop. I'm purging like Saddam over the next week or two. When I call names, there's a video going around this week of the famous Saddam purge. When I call the names of folks from this chat, I want you to stand up and recite the Unslavian Party slogan, and you will be brought away from there on out. Okay, I'm feeling another purge coming on this week.
No.
What can be done? Excuse me, Truthico. What shall be done with the traitors of the party, the treasonous folks? The sword, of course. What else? There'll be a few who will be allowed to languish in the prison and keep their rat-like lives, their life energy, continuing to move forward. They'll be allowed to live. The sword for the rest of them, truth or flop. We need a great purging here once again. The tree of liberty for Enslavia has to be watered by the blood of patriots and slaves, mostly slaves. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, it's fucking unfortunate, dude. Because all we fucking say here, we fucking have these conversations for a reason to prevent that.
There's no conversation going on here. It's a non-conversation.
Yeah, there's no fucking.
I'm ranting and raving. I'm telling about what I'm doing and why it's important, and they know it. And the rest of them are fucking off, jacking off, and playing games all day every day, and trying to incite me to go off and trigger me. They love it.
And they
like
have
children.
no interest in doing what the fuck is real and right. Not.
No.
Very few of them.
Mitchell, go off on these fucking slaves.
Mitchell, what's
I'm
up,
so
bro?
sick of them.
Mitchell hurt me, by the way.
I saw your name, so I figured I better come up here.
Mitchell hurt me. You're feeding back like crazy, bro. Get it under control. Come on.
Mitchell's tearing it up lately, dude.
The offer's not changing. Come up on panel. You're playing power games. Who knew? Asking about another Queen's English guy. Who knew? Asking about other notable shunnings would have caused so much. Cause what? Me to focus on you like you were desperate for and point out your cowardice and your hypocrisy.
Dude, especially since he got up on here, I want to make sure I hit this point. Mitchell hurt
Exactly
me.
what they want. They love it. Mitchell hurt me as well. He's got a huge internet donger.
It's terrifying what he does, dude. Everything. He puts a camera in my face. He hurt me.
He raped a fucking councilwoman with his internet donger. Put it deep inside of her without her consent even. And it was a metaphorical, metaversal rape.
It was. Oh, man.
Why is this person saying whatever reality I need to invent? That's why I don't respect you, because you insult my intelligence. Just cop to it in the chat. I'm not gaslighting you. Cop to what we already know, that you're a punk coward, and make this real easy on everyone. I'm not inventing a reality. You're not denying it. That means it's true. See, when something's not true, people say, I'm not that, and this is who I am. You haven't done that, so you know what I'm saying is true. Now you want to play the game of, you don't know me, so I can put distance between what you said and the false reality that I'm living to cope. Just cut it out, man. There you go. I'm a punk coward. You finally came clean. I respect you for that, finally, what the majority won't do. And I'm sure that part of you is doing it, if I had to bet, as like it's still passive aggressive and sarcastic, right? It's meant to just move everything along and give me what I want, or what I say I want, to prove that I won't be happy, right? It's more games, because you're not actually going to come up here and say, you know what, I'm a punk coward. I'm not doing what I need to be doing. Yet I go around and ask who Paul's suckers are and infer that he's grifting, right? But I don't know what I'm I don't know. I don't know what I did. Like, what did I do? That bullshit game. Just like dealing with a woman, not a woman, a broken bitch or a goofy hoe. Women don't play these games when they're beyond a certain point of age and reason and maturity, if they ever get there. Like you'll say to the woman, hey, let's just stop playing this game and you insulting my intelligence. Just cop to what it is, and then they'll roll their, oh, I'm a punk coward, whatever. Like it's like you're saying it to make me happy, to give me what I want. Right? It's called adherence to the truth. I don't know what the truth is. You have to acknowledge it or not, right? And that's the thing with 99% of inauthentic corporate beta male cowards. We can never establish the truth because they'll never just cop to who and what they are. It's always a dancing, shucking and jiving game with them everywhere in their life. You know, they don't actually believe in authentic growth and learning and actualization and realization. And how you get there is by calling yourself out. Instead of doing that, they're too busy all day calling everyone else out, right? On what they believe.
They would rather cope than cop. They'd rather sit there and not acknowledge their own role and obfuscate.
I think a lot of folks are asking.
Authority, huh?
What?
No. Well, they would rather obfuscate authority than continue to present what they stand for, and rather than be that themselves. So they want to cop out in a regard like I want some sort of an authority to appeal on my behalf because I can't speak for myself. I can't do it myself. I need somebody to represent me. Like that's how we started getting these fucking roles. Can you get that damn thing lit so that I can roll my own? Damn.
The intellectual can't spell cheek. Another genius.
Turn the other check.
Another guru genius from the chat box.
Talcott Clip Collection, where the fuck are you at, bro? Get the fuck back. What is going on, dude?
Clip Collection is dead, and there's nothing we could do.
There's no. I refuse to accept this.
Well, you're going through grief and denial and all the stages of coping. But I'm so traumatized from war and death. Like 3/4 of my friends at one point are all dead. You know, like that song, "All My Friends Are Dead." All overdosed, all suicides. That would have been my path as well. I was on that path. But yeah, I'm so numbed out on some level to just death and destruction that I can't even stop the train in my life and what I'm doing to even conceive of the fact that TCC might have went and jumped off a roof somewhere. And I care about him. I want him to be okay. I'm kind of annoyed that he took out all those videos. I don't think I'm ever going to get over that. Kind of makes the coping a lot easier.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't may make it the coping easy for you, but for me it seems like he might have like submitted some sort of a heroin addiction. He's got something going on, dude. Something's going on there that he would disappear.
He went on Fent after doing Talcott clips for all day every day. He went on Fent because he can't handle it.
How else would you be able to fucking sit there and look at Talcott all day? Dude?
This is what I'm saying. You're calling me childish, but you're acting like a needy, childish bitch in my chat. I can't even stop it. I can't even ignore you at this point without you continuing to slam the keys. This is the highlight of your month. That Paulie like gave you attention and addressed you, and you're pretending you're above me and you're playing puppeteering power games with me. You're a loser, failure, coward. You won't even come up on panel and say your piece. And now you're desperate to keep the interaction going with me from up here in chat. It's beyond it. You're not a guru. You're not teaching me anything. You're not my life coach like all the rest of the folks who come into my life and want to life coach me. I don't want to be anything like your punk, cowardly, soft-spoken, introverted ass at this point. Done with it. You guys are all the guys who sat around and didn't do anything when we needed somebody. So now I'm done with you. I've gone into a different phase and a different mode of my life. It's caused me to have to detach from people, places, and things to keep my peace and my prosperity, especially away from this broadcast, because I let it fly here. But when I come on here, I'm not exempt from the dynamic. So even when I ignore you, even when I don't feed into it, even when I don't address you, you guys don't go away and you don't stop for 3 to 5 years on end because you're that much of a loser failure with nothing else to do. Tribe, Slackcot, Citizens Broadcasting Cooperative, and all the rest. And you're desperate to be my counsel, part of my table, part of my team, some kind of coach of mine from a fucking chat box, but you guys don't have the balls to get up here and speak about your truth and my truth accurately and build from that perspective. So I don't want you around me. You're not built the way I'm built. Let's just put it that way as well. You're not built the way I'm built. And everyone can tell that. Why you guys pretend it's any different is beyond me. I got to say the quiet part out loud that makes me sound prideful and egotistical, that everyone else can apprehend in the room with us, except them, apparently.
Well, we have to make it very simple for the simple-minded. Unfortunately, that's the way it is.
If you can't get on the camera, on the microphone, and speak your truth and be radically authentic, we're not built the same at this point. And you're never going to get there. And your lukewarm, weak-ass justifications about how you're above it and beyond it don't fly with me. You've just never had to be in a position to put the fuck up or shut up. That's the bottom line. You've never been in a position where someone was across the room from you that wasn't going away and told you, this is what's going to happen. And you had to find a space in you to overcome that. You don't know what it's like to have to live that way. It's why you've never truly found your core beingness. It's why whatever you do doesn't translate fully. It's why you're not felt or seen most places in your life. You've never had to truly fight to get who and what you are and where you're at. You're just fucking lukewarm, mundane, mediocre, and fence riding. You're basic.
Well, yeah, that's why we have to be in charge of ourselves and grounded with nature at the same time. Like, we have to be in charge and grounded, feet on the ground. It's a whole spectrum of dominance, full spectrum dominance. We have to endure to become who we need to be. That's all. Like,
He's
otherwise,
chat,
people are going to infiltrate
You're
however
going
they can.
on and on and on with the Talcott hand, but he's still in the chat. And he's now asking Poncho for advice. I thought you were the advice giver. Why are you asking him what he thinks now? Why do you guys go around the room to start asking? Why are you doing that? You're not in a position of power. You're not an arbiter. You're not an administrator. You're not credible. You have little to no value in these venues. You've been shown and told that. Yet you continue to show up like you have something to offer as far as critique and criticism. What gives you that air of arrogance and egotism when you can't even get up on panel and fucking talk? What gives you? You're like the white guys. This is what I mean. And they'll say, Paulie's like a self-hater. I'm not like you people. I've never been invited to the parties when we've never gotten along. And I don't go because it winds up coming to blows. And not the kind of blows you're used to. Sucking dick all the way up a corporate ladder. Okay? So just stop. I'm asking you, stop. Stop the passive-aggressive, arrogant positioning and presumption that your fucking vote matters here. It doesn't. You're non-credible. Just like your masters see you as and how you live. You're non-credible. You're little to no value. You have nothing to offer. Just be lucky you're here. Be thankful.
The most
and
credit they
and
have is being a commenter in their chat.
Live. Hello. This is part of my chat engagement period. This is what makes this thing move. This is the lubrication to the gears.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I was saying the most credibility they have is being a commenter.
He's still typing to me. What is the reason why you've not come up on panel yet? Okay, Truth or Cop. Goodbye. What's the reason why you're not up on panel yet? I got to do these live expositions for all the other folks who are like me, who are just painfully attracted to the psychology and sociology simulations. Give us the reason, Mr. Typer in chat, Mr. Secretary. Try to keep up, right? Because you're smarter than me. You can see the connections. You really get it. We got it. Just like Zach Hubbard and the rest. Why is Zach Hubbard not on the panel today talking about me again like he was at Slave Cots earlier today? Why is he not here? He may be here. Why is he not typing in the chat and or on panel? Why are you typing in the chat and not on panel? What's the reason? Give us a reason, as if I didn't know and we didn't know. Got anything? I don't jump when you say so. That's a power game. That's bullshit. The answer is you're a coward. You know it and I know it. Why are you trying to insult my and this audience's intelligence? You're not as smart as you think you are, bub. The answer is password. The answer is you're a coward. And you think that we don't know that and can't see that. So you go to bullshitting and playing false strength power games. I don't jump when you say so. I guarantee somewhere in your life you jump when someone else says so. I'd bet anything on it. And you're going to pretend you're not going to do it here. More power games, more challenges. And I'll tell you, just like I've told people in the past, if I was in that game and I wanted to, you would jump when I said so. I'm not in that game. You're supposed to be in the game of self-realization, actualization, and being radically authentic and honest. Stop, demon. Stop trying to pull me into your world with challenges to the ego. Because you and I both know if I was in the game and we were on the ground together of making you do what I say, it would happen. If I got pulled from my faith and we were like, in a box together and I wanted you to do what I say, it would happen. Do I live like that? No, because I don't want it done to me. And there's always someone bigger and badder than you out there. The point is, stop playing power games with me. The same way I wouldn't go to, if we were locked up, the same way I wouldn't try to go in someone else's box and try to play power games and do false fronting, false strength games, because I know where it's going to lead. Stop doing it with me on here because you're insulated. I don't appreciate it. It's disrespectful to you and me and the truth, because in reality, you don't live like that anywhere in your life. I bet anything on it. I do, not in that way. Some ways I do for what's true and what's right and what's important, not for the low-level little boy ego bullshit. So don't challenge me and my masculinity and put up a false power front, because you ain't that guy. You guys don't live like that anywhere in your life, so don't pretend to on here on the internet. It just makes everyone embarrassed. If you were really that guy anywhere in life, you'd stand for certain things that matter, and you motherfuckers don't. We got no footage. We got no receipts, like they say. There's no pictures of it. No one painted a picture of you doing anything that required you to stand on something. So let's cut the fucking games. The guru from the chat isn't aware of his own subconscious power games he's playing on himself and others, or he is aware, but he's disingenuous. He's going to play them anyway. And at the root of this, like I said earlier, you love this. You guys love when I highlight your chats and when I talk about you. This is how you get your broken childlike fixed. You get your dopamine rush. Paulie Boy, the F list non-celebrity on YouTube, said my name. My month is complete. It triggered him. You're still gonna keep typing, huh? My jujitsu says otherwise. Don't worry, I wouldn't hurt you. There you go. Your jujitsu, right? He took Tiger Showman's career in 8th grade. He's gonna jujitsu me. Can you come up here, because I want to make sure you're the same person that I'm thinking of, because I'm pretty sure you've been here before, and there's so many folks who come in and out of here that I might be confusing you with someone else. Not that necessarily I would know. I don't judge a book by its cover necessarily. But if you're the person I'm thinking of, I'm highly doubting that you're coordinated and highly trained in any discipline or martial art. You have to be a different person. I must have you confused with someone else, and that's why, but you're acting like that person in chat. So I'm thinking it's not. I'm thinking my first instinct is correct. And you're telling stories now. 210 pounds, long beard, blue eyes. Yeah, you're the guy who comes on with the ski goggles, right? And the hat and the artificial background. Isn't that you? Hello. Yeah, you got the big beard. Why? Okay. I'm leaving. You know why I've entertained you this long is a shock to the majority of folks and even myself at times. I'm a glutton for punishment. So you're a punk coward. I'm gonna give you a timeout so you can shut the fuck up. Yeah, there you go. Fishing glasses. See what they do? Not ski goggles, fishing glasses. Okay. It doesn't matter. You got them from the outdoor section of Walmart. Okay. Do I have to? This is what you all do. You know what I'm talking about. You pretend you don't, and then you make little fucking qualifications. Yeah, I know you. I remember you. Your jujitsu is I believe is a fantasy. You can't judge a book by its cover, but yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that you're highly trained in jujitsu. Maybe jujitsu JEW, as in double speaking, fork tonguing, bullshitting, Zionist, statist cuck slave. That jujitsu, I could see that you're somewhat trained in. I'm not buying, I've seen a fair bit of guys who are well trained and can hold their own in life and stand on something, and you don't give me that vibe. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you don't put off that vibe. So I'm thinking you're bullshitting like you are everything else. That's what I'm going with for that. We're never going to find out, so it doesn't really much matter, right? Anyone can apparently say and do whatever they want on here. That's what I've learned. Be whatever they want, say whatever they want, do whatever they want, pretend. As if, by the way, somebody being highly trained in a martial art ever stopped them from being coerced or duressed or preyed on. Just nonsense. I shouldn't even. That's the thing. I shouldn't even go there. Shouldn't even take it to that level. I'm just so interested in mixing it up with folks at times and just seeing like what's there. I can't help myself. And again, I'll be all the way where I don't do that with people who I get the sense really are living their information and stand on something. And I don't see that as hypocritical. I do it with punk cowards who I think are telling stories and playing games. I don't do that. All right, Citizens Broadcasting. I've been on 4 times, I think. Yeah, I don't care. Timing you out. You're annoying. And you're from Canada. Which is, I'll just leave it at that. Truth or Cop, final words. I knew it was him. I knew it was the person I was thinking of. Just, I've asked him multiple times to go away and stay away from here, and he just can't do it. He can't do it, Mister. Yeah. I'm highly disciplined. I'm a martial artist. I'm an auditor. I'm Citizens Broadcasting Cooperative. By the name, they're full of shit. What is that? Citizens Broadcasting Cooperative. I guarantee if I ask him who's in the cooperative, it's him and his dog. It's him and his hamster. That's who's in the cooperative. I guarantee I'd bet anything on it. This is why I love cosmic gambling, right? I don't gamble at casinos and the rest of it because it's just foolish to me, but I love cosmic gambling where, it's about the truth and there's little to nothing really staked other than, I guess, everybody's sort of discernment, reputation and credibility, which is kind of fun and interesting. Most people don't care about that. So it's nothing big, but it's like, I love to play this game of look at someone, have limited information, make a snap judgment, and then tease apart how correct it is or how much we're just in false self ego deception. And it's like 8 out of 10 times I'm right on the money.
Did you say
this
snap
guy's
judgment
not
or
trained.
snafu judgment?
Yeah, I'm saying what would be seen as, egotistical and all the rest of it. I just go, let's get shallow to get deep. Let's just go on instinct and intuition. Let's try to run on that and see where that takes us. It hasn't failed me yet. as long as it's
And speaking of which,
appropriated.
bro, I want to close out here. I do want to get my final words. Thanks for being doing what you do. There's a lot to consider here from tonight's episode, and obviously we'll continue. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe, you fucking slaves. What the fuck else are you doing with your fucking time? Anyhow, I love seeing the hair growing. Interesting optics. I'll talk to you later. Be well.
Thank you. What does that mean? Is he talking about me growing my hair? I don't even know what that means. Yeah, it's just stop. Can everyone just stop? It's doing too much or too little. Can we just stop with all the extra shit? Seriously. You know, it's like, if that's the case, bro, then you're living it. Then you got a bunch of content and a bunch of shit to talk about and show me. Why are you doing this? And the answer is because you're not. You're not living it. You got nothing to show. You got no content. You're discontent, and you come to my chat box for 3 to 5 years to fucking play these games with me and get seen and heard by me. And then want to like project onto me and then live in a fantasy world in your head. How you're a legend in your own mind. Just so odd. And then I give you guys the offer. Just come on up. You're a cooperative. You're a leader. You're outspoken. You're the voice of the people. Come on up and give a no. And it's because I don't deserve it, right? They don't move when I tell them to, right? It's just bullshit. Total bullshit. Any channel I've ever went to, I'm hoping they drop that fucking link and let me up so I can fucking give my piece and my perspective. You ain't that. Just like at court, I go all the moments come down to this moment. Time to shine. Not saying that I'm not intimidated at times by it, or I'm not, have some trepidation or apprehension or anticipation. The point is transmuting that, transforming that. I'm not buying it. I respect Judge Fleischer more than you. There, I said it. It wasn't hard for me to come to that determination. All right, that's what's even more upsetting. Judge Fleischer is more of a fucking man than you. Stand up, man, while sitting down. Judge Fleischer can sit down while he pees and still more of a man than you. Judge Fleischer would get so deep in your ass if we were at court right now. You play this game with me in chat box because you think you can get away with it. Judge Fleischer would just fucking have you giving him rim jobs for weeks. I dare you to call him gay. Dare you to call him gay after that. They don't do it there. They don't go to Judge Fleischer's courtroom and play these fucking games and act out and tell people who they are. I'm a purple belt in Tiger Schulman's jiu-jitsu karate. I took it for 3 summers. Judge Fleischer just goes, all right, just prepare your lips. Prepare your tongue and lips. Start doing some tongue and lips exercises. You're going to be my human bidet. You don't do this when you're there. And you take your crap to this broadcast like it's interesting and exciting for me. It's not. It's boring. Just like it would be there. He goes, I'm done with you, slave. You're boring me. Let's go. Do something. Be something. Show me something. Not, I got to go. Slaving you up. All right, 5 more minutes. My channel name, a foil or a fail? I can't read that. I'm guessing fail. I don't think you'd be that honest though. I think you said foil, but I'm choosing to see fail. My channel name is a parody and a fail. I agree. So now we're agreeing. 5 more minutes. I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna rag on you and point out how annoying and cowardly and fake you are, and how the majority of people are just like you. And that's why you all can't figure out why we never get along, because I'm not like you, aka most people. Not for better or for worse, right? It's actually cost me a lot in my life. I just don't care. You know, getting really good at going, oh well, it could be worse. I'm thankfully grateful for what I do have, people, places, and things in my life. It could always get worse. It could always be worse. You know, so I stay thankful and grateful and humble before the truth and the creational force. But you, oh, sick of you. Invent whatever reality you need. See, and that's what you all do. That's what all you subjective moralists and solipsists and Talcadians do. You pretend that other people are making up realities and that we're not seeing you and hearing you and experiencing you, and that there's no discernible truth or reality there. Right? More predatory, deceptive, manipulative, fake ass games. We're gonna see, right? Over the next 3 to 5 years, we're gonna see what everybody's made of again, like the last 4 years. Remember when I was on Facebook? You weren't there. Remember when I was on Facebook 10 years ago giving similar raps and people were all like, Paulie Boy's dusted out from all the PCP. He's paranoid and crazy. He thinks there's going to be some mass event where everybody's going to be shown who and what they are incontrovertibly. And I said, yeah, I could see why you would think that. And bam, like Emerald Lagasse, Slavid 19 showed up. And oh boy, was I vindicated. That's when everyone just started taking a second look at me and what I was saying. You know, it's going to happen again, as far as I can perceive intuitionally. And it's going to be a double and triple down, right? So you can play all these games. I got Tiger Showmans. You know, I'm a Billy Badass online. You should see me. I'm a real intellectual at parties. And by parties, I mean alone at my house in a chat box online. And it's like, you can say all that and do all that, but we're going to come around the bend again, you know, just like I had to talk about Pathetic Warrior with his little to nothing audience. And it doesn't matter how many. That's the thing. Numbers don't matter if you're doing what's true and what's right and standing on what's right when the time comes and when it matters. Numbers don't matter. You know, numbers can be an indicator of certain things that you can adjust potentially, right? But ultimately, it doesn't matter. If you're not doing that, then the numbers matter, because not only are you not being what you need to be in life as a character in your life on the ground, you're not entertaining or informing or interesting anyone. You know, so yeah, we're gonna have another one of those tests and challenges again in everybody's faith. The majority are gonna fold. And we're going to see who everybody really is and what they're really about and what they serve once again. And what you say and what you feel and what you do from now to then doesn't fucking matter. You know, so just keep it up, you know, play your fucking games, just live in your own head, pretend with everyone around you, including yourself. Because at the end of the day, if I'm wrong about all this, you know who you are. You know what you've done in life, what you could do, what you don't do, you know. So like at the end of the day, everyone knows. You know, then you know if you're living like a punk ass coward and a slave, and fear runs your life, and you got a daddy somewhere, you know, and then there's levels to everything. I get really, it surprises me what I do sometimes walking in this faith. When I'm in a jail cell and I got fucking 3 agencies in front of me and I'm looking at like bullshit felonies for things I didn't even do and whatever else. And they're telling me I'm looking at years on years. And I don't cop out and I don't do anything other than continue to stand on this truth. It surprises me. No way. Just like it does the people around me, you know? So yeah, I think that's the path that we should all be on, you know, continually over time, surprising ourselves with what we're willing to stand on for the right reasons and not. And forgive me if I'm just not willing to believe that you're one of those people. I think that if you were, you'd have something else to bond with me over and offer me other than who are my suckers and who am I grifting off of. I think you're a hater because you're not living that truth. Most of the time, you hating ass motherfuckers. When you're not sucking my feet, you're hating on me simply because you're not living that truth. If you were, there's nothing to suck on and there's nothing to hate on. We just share that experience and we bond over that, or we don't. Peace through strength, y'all. Why do you keep typing in chat? Why is my timeout not working from up here tonight on anybody? Can someone in the chat time this moron out? He's desperate for attention and he won't do what's true and what's right. He won't be straightforward and honest as a man, and he wants to pretend that he's in charge and in control. That's why he's not getting on panel. So could we just block him out? I'm gonna wind down here. Already an hour and a half over. It always seems to happen that way. Some lowest common denominator tard gets my attention. And if it's not me letting the panel just degrade into chaos, controversy, and insanity, I wind up doing an hour straight of looping stepdaddy, stepchild, ego checking therapy, non-therapy.